such a smooth transition. Man, I am so good at streaming. We're working on it. You might hear my cat just running around, losing her goddamn mind, like in the background, but don't worry if you just hear thudding and, like, somebody's like breaking into my house. No, it's my cat. It's my fat cat running around. She likes these little, like, plush dumplings I have, and like, they come in like a, I don't know what it's called, but it comes in like a little bowl. They're all plush, and there's like 5 of them that go in there, and she takes them out like no matter how many times I put them back in, and if I lose one I don't even have to worry about it because I am sure eventually she'll like bring it back to me in her mouth. Also, the music is not running, sorry about that. How rude of me to not have the music playing. I actually really like the music, even though it just reminds me of Fire Emblem music, which I understand is an unfair criticism to a degree because it's like, not all music can be 100% unique. Everything kind of takes inspiration. They all use similar instruments, blah blah blah. Anyway, got my water. We are good to start pretty much whenever, so I'm probably going to start now. I had a really fun time yesterday. If you weren't here for the last stream, not too much happened. I mean, to be fair, Kyoto wins from everything that I read, and I did a little bit more reading just to make sure I was informed, Everything that I read is basically that it's a common route, like, stretched out for an entire game, which to some people just sounds like a nightmare, understandably, but it was only, like, apparently Kyoto and Ida Blossoms used to be one game altogether. I don't know why they separated them. Maybe they're just both that long that they felt the need to, but anyway. So I find that interesting. Let's continue. But I had a good time. What I meant to say with all that was that I had a good time and I got further than I did when I played originally. And I think I stopped at a good spot. So let's go. And let's not press space. Okay? I've had to rewire my brain not to do that. My camera looks... I literally, like, set it up before stream and stuff, and it still looks weird to me. Like, it still looks like an odd position. That is not better. It's not better at all. See, like, it looks good there, but I can't get my webcam to stay. There? Oh god. Okay. Stay. Just don't do anything. After the fight at the end, I was able to leave the compound much more often. I suppose after what I'd done, Hijikata thought I earned a little more trust. I didn't feel like I did anything extraordinary, probably because we really didn't, but I wasn't about to look a gift horse in the mouth. I was genuinely happy that the man, Hijikata, approved of me. On this particular day, I was out on patrol with Harada and the 10th Division. Excuse me, Harada. The Shinsengumi is out patrolling day and night, right? Yeah, that's right. What about it? But what exactly is it that you do? Most of the men in the Shinsengumi were intimidating, death-dealing titans, but Harada was a rare exception, warm and friendly. And submissive, weirdly. Not in a bad way. Well, I guess we do just about everything. And I swear that the camera moved. It had to have. That's probably why it looked weird. Obviously, we arrest people who want to test out their swords or don't pay for their food. People who don't pay for their food. And then there's those chumps who think they'll make a living leaning on the merchants. It wasn't really the answer that I'd expected. I guess the Shinsengumi's job is closer to a magistrate's than I thought. Thinking back, I remembered how excited they were during the raid. What they did at the end was far more intense than their day-to-day work. A little further down the road, a couple of men in Shinsengumi blues were waving at us. Nagakura! I guess our separate rounds brought us to the same spot. Okay, look, I shot on Okita all last stream, but let me just say this right here on the record. I think this motherfucker is the worst so far. I actually really don't like him at all. I find him boring. He ain't that cute. Like, Okita's, like, annoying, but at least, like, he has character, and I find that sometimes endearing, depending on the situation. Like, I didn't mind that scene of us rescuing him. Like, did I care that much? Not really, but, like, he's definitely, like, second to the bottom, where this guy's at the fucking bottom. That weirdo also, like, the mansplainer guy, I can't remember his name, I think it was, like, Saitani. That might have been it, actually. He weirded me out, but again, entertaining. This dude isn't entertaining, like, he just bothers me. Sorry. Hey there, Chizuru, you find out anything about your dad? Clearly not. No, nothing today. Sorry, that's me. Come on, cheer up, there's always tomorrow, right? Unless I die. Yeah, you're right. There was something contagious about his optimism. Well, Shinpachi, you find anything exciting? No, nothing in particular, but all the people on the street are acting busy, you know. I hadn't noticed it before, but he was right. They were acting strange, almost nervous. Yeah, it looks like they're getting ready to move. You think maybe they're worried about getting caught in the middle of a war? What war? There wasn't a war. Was there? Girl, how would you know? Oh yeah, we didn't tell you yet, huh? Well, those Choshu bastards are showing up around Kyoto again, hence our extra rounds. Well, we did give them a bloody nose at Akita. I can't imagine they'll just stand around with some of their guys in the ground. Were the Choshu going to try something again? Beats me. Kinda hard to tell at the moment. It doesn't matter anyway. We just do our job. The Choshu attack Kyoto, we drive them back. Simple. They accepted their situation and never complained. I had a good deal of respect for Harada and Nagakura. We could leave out the last part. If they don't back off soon, we're probably going to be getting new orders all the way from the top. So you think the Aizu will give you all orders? Yeah, they might ask us to join as part of the official shogunate troops. Well, chances like this only happen every so often. Who knows when the next one will be. Want to join us? What? I was perplexed by this sudden invitation. Does this mean I could march as a member of the Shinsengumi? It seemed rather inappropriate for me to ask to participate just for curiosity's sake. Still, I very much hope to be helpful in some way. Could I perhaps do something like what I've done at the Akita Inn? However, there's also the chance that I become a hindrance as opposed to helping them out. Okay, to me, I feel like staying behind isn't like an awful choice, but like it kind of feels like it goes against what the character wants, which is like to look for her dad and not to be stuck in the place the whole time. And sorry, this camera keeps bothering me. If it didn't move, we'd be Gucci, we'd be chillin'. That might actually say. So yeah, let's just go, but I just like, you know, my mind was made up. I nodded to Harada. I was gonna say something, I think you could see that, and then I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna say. I want to help. I would like to participate and help in some way. And not, you know what, and not do laundry back at home. Alright, thanks for letting me know. When the time comes, I'll be sure to back you up so you could join us. A little awkward, not gonna lie. Also, you can see my, like, test chats in the corner. I think they pop up on stream. Several days later, excuse me. I carefully lifted the serving platter with tea for the captains and made my way to the common room. Ah, thanks. Thanks, Chizuru. Man, it's like you're our... Does anybody like this guy? I mean, well, I was a page as far as everyone knew. Except that's just a cover and not really your job. The thought to correct him crossed my mind, but instead I stayed silent as I passed the tea out. Damn. She really said, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Thank you, Yukimura. I feel bad asking you to do this. Oh, it's nothing. After all, I am Hijikata's page. I spoke barely above a whisper, but in a way smiled and nodded at me. Okita took a sip of his tea and a mild grimace flickered across his face. Is something wrong with the tea? The taste is fine, but it could be a little hotter. Maybe you're taking too long to pour it. Bitch! Do it your fucking self! Oh my god! But I guess I can expect this from you. Fuck you! Just out the gate. Just so bad already. I'm sorry. I'll make a new batch right now. Jesus H. Get me out of here. Get me out of this prison. Don't worry. I like it. Look I can drink it immediately. Toto's so sweet, but he basically was just like, he's like, don't worry, I like my tea that tastes like shit, actually. More, please. Sure, right, I guess the warm tea isn't bad on a hot day like today. These two are the best. He was silent for a second before the door slid open and Kono, arrived with a stern look upon his face. The Shinsengumi has received an official request from the Aizunume, and all available soldiers must begin preparations to move out immediately. Oh my god! I hope that picked up on the recording. Jesus H! What a jump scare! What? That was awful! It seems the Aizu have finally noticed all the hard work we've been doing, men. He looked just as happy with the news as the rest of them, apparently getting orders directly from Aizunume. It was an occasion for some excitement. Clearly, Hijikata, however, was the lone exception, the lone wolf. Alpha. We don't have time for this shit. Stop patting each other on the back and get moving. We need to go now! That's what we're doing! The Choshu are already in Kyoto. We can't let them gain the upper hand on us. You need to relax. Where's your boy toy? As Hijikata rebuked the men, rebuked is crazy. The warriors all scattered sequentially to their stations. When it was only the captains and myself remaining in the room, Hijikata vented. What, so only when the Choshu attack Kyoto is everyone ready to go? This bullshit! Thinking back at what happened at Akita Inn, while the Shinsengumi were fighting hard, the Aizu domain was elsewhere and came strolling in way later at the scene. Based. Remembering that incident, I feel like I can understand Hijikata at least to some extent. Okay, he said Okita. I've been saying Okita, and I think I'm going to keep calling them that, but you know. And Toto, you will remain at headquarters. I doubt you'll like it, but well, neither do I. Your injuries keep you from active duty, as do mine. He rubbed his left arm absent-mindedly and looked away. Hey, speak for yourself. It's not like my injuries didn't recover or something. Unfortunately. But I guess I'm not 100% either, so if you're telling me to sit this one out, I will. Okay. But not without some lip service. You're making a big deal out of nothing. This is just a scratch. Kondo's being a wuss. Okita asked as if he didn't hear Sanin at all while Heisuke pouted. Jesus. You sure about that? All night last night you were crying like a baby. You son of a bitch, why you gotta rat me out? Is there even a heart in there, you old bastard? I'd be like, yeah, I was crying and what? Fuck you. But you did scream like a baby though, right? Right, Chizuru? I will never throw them on the bus. On the bus? Under the bus. Hey, don't ask her. It'd be nice if you could keep your mouth shut for once, you know. He glanced sideways at me. But Heisuke, it's true that your injury hasn't recovered. His bangs hid the scar rather well, but it still looked painful. Nagakura broke the awkward silence. Oh yeah, Chizuru, you said you wanted to go with us if we got called in, right? You still up for that? That's how he's gonna talk from now on. Even though I told Harada that I was into the idea of joining them, it still seemed a little risky. Yes, well I see no reason why not. After all, opportunities like this are seldom seen. For some reason, Kondo was easy to convince. I wasn't expecting him to be so easily swayed. Maybe he's the bad guy. What the hell, if she's tagging along, maybe it'd be a good idea for me to come too, right? You're still all out of shape though, right? You stay behind at the compound. That's awesome, Chizuru. Are you sure it'll be alright? Hijikata and Sanin cited the side of my reservations, which was understandable. We can't promise you won't get hurt or worse. You should stay here. Do you wish to place undue burden on the Shinsengumi? We are not here to entertain you. I mean, he's not wrong. Colonel Sonic, can I take that to mean so long as she is not a burden, she is free to accompany us? Translation. I blinked. Saito standing up for me. Aww, what a cutie. Sanin seemed nearly as surprised as I was. You can't be saying you're actually in favor of bringing her along. I mean, I did save at least one person, technically. Saito seemed simply shrugged. She was an asset at Akita. That's true. I only intended to point out that, judged by her actions, she has hardly proven to be a burden. Never in a million years would I have imagined that Saito might have a word of praise for me. My eyes grew wide with elation, and Kondo nodded in agreement. Excellent, I will take full responsibility for your inclusion. That is, of course, if you still wish to participate. Sanin still didn't seem convinced. I looked around the room until my eyes met Okita's. Do whatever you want to do, as long as you get, so long as you get that we're going to a battle, not a party. Bitch, I know. I've been new. It looked like I wasn't about to get any help from Akita. Nothing new, who looked nonplussed either way. Perhaps I'd be able to help them out like I had during the Battle of Akita Inn. I nodded. Yes, I would like to participate. I volunteer as tribute. After that, everything was a blur. As quickly as we could, we prepared for battle and marched to the Fushimi magistrate's office. There were a number of Kyoto Judiciary Commissioner's men gathered there as well, in preparation for battle with the Choshu. Walking proudly in front of the men, Kondo approached the government official near the gate. We, the Shinsengumi, are reporting as requested by Lord Katamori Matsudaira, the Lieutenant General of the Aizu. Katamori Matsudaira was the lord of the. I mean, he did just kind of say that. And also the Kyoto military commissioner, which made him a very important person. His name would have been immediately recognized. The man standing near the gate looked slightly taken aback by the mention of Shinsengumi. You were told to report here, but we received no such orders. What are you hiding, dog? No, that didn't make any sense. What? Perhaps sensing my confusion, Saito leaned over and whispered under his breath. If they haven't received notice of our orders, the lines of communication are likely in disarray. Oh. Do you mean the Choshu is overpowering the shogunate's forces? Not necessarily, however, I do suspect the enemy to be doing well. Bro is whispering in my ear. Like right here. This could be tricky. The judiciary commissioner and the military commissioner had similar organizations, but they operate very differently. The military commissioner's office was under the jurisdiction of the Aizu domain, while the Kuwana domain controlled the judiciary commissioner. I didn't fully understand the relationships between each domain, but so far as I knew, the Aizu and Kuwana weren't quite fond of one another. Nonetheless, our assistance has been formally requested. If you could only speak to your super... It wouldn't make a difference. Now get! Now get! We have no use for Mibu's wolves. How terrible. And after they'd asked for the Shinsengumi's help, I felt Harada's hand on my shoulder and turned to look up at him. Forget about them. This isn't anything to make a fuss about. We get this sort of crap all the time. But this is so galling. Girl, what? I wasn't truly a member of the Shinsengumi, but even so, after living with the Shinsengumi men and watching how they worked, I couldn't bear to see how they were treated, which is why this felt wrong to me. Thank you for explaining. Everyone at the Shinsengumi has worked so hard to maintain peace in Kyoto. How could these people, who are supposed to be our allies, turn us away without a second thought? I appreciate the gesture, but I'm gonna need you to toughen up for me if you can. I'm gonna need you to stop being a little bitch for 2 seconds, please. If we throw a fit here, then we might hurt Aizu's reputation, you get it? Oh. The Kuwana would only need to complain that the Shinsengumi hadn't showed them proper respect to make trouble for the Aizu. All of the men, including Harada, understood what needed to be done, and they endured. I mean, it's not that big a deal. It's just like, well, they can't help, sorry. There's nothing we can do here, Chief. We should leave the magistrate alone and meet with the Aizu's domain men on our own. Saito's suggestion to Kondo was rudely interrupted by Takeda. Oh god. Us? Leave? What's the point of ignoring a military command in the battlefield? I love him. Chief, everyone knows that messengers get delayed during war. Leaving now would be foolish. I think she should remain here on standby. I think his voice actor makes me like him more than I probably would otherwise. If this location were a camp to which we were stationed, then maybe you'd be making sense. Unfortunately, it is not, and it would be wise for us to act in the best interest of the Shinsengumi. Do you dare oppose my opinion? An opinion, mind you, from the Shinsengumi's war counselor? Bro, no one cares. Cool it, Saito brings up a good point. Kondo nodded deeply as he glanced at Saito. We, the Shinsengumi, will officially look for the camp that military commissioner is constructing! And with that, the Shinsengumi set off to find the soldiers of the Aizu domain. Has Saito ever had a bad take? Can Saito ever lose? Night had fallen by the time we arrived at Kujo Beach. After leaving the Fushimi magistrate's office, we made for the Aizu Manor. Upon arriving, we relayed our previous encounter and asked for new orders. The manor official we met with directed us to go to Kujo Beach, which we did. However, what, the Shinsengumi is to join us? We've received no such order. I apologize, but could you speak with the commander at the Okay, something's fucky. Nagakura seemed to tolerate no more of this. What the hell? He was the one who told us to come here, god damn it! You want to fuck us over? Fine, but you're gonna be disobeying a direct order from Superior, pal. You really want to do that? Please calm down. I don't know what you... The man flinched and shivered, then fell silent. Kono did his best to assume a professional air, but there was no hiding his massive grin. I would like to speak to your commanding officer. Do you think you might be able to take me to him? At last, after a great deal of trouble, we were allowed to remain with the troops at the Kujo Beach. The chief and the captains left the rest of us to speak with the Aizu commanders. They returned sometime later looking tired and drained. Inoue, who'd gone with them, also wore a bitter sort of half-smile. Well, it would seem that the men stationed here are reserves and not the main force of their army. Their main force has been committed to the defense of Hamaguri Gate. They're treating the Shinsengumi like reserves? Then why the hell did they send us a message acting like this was some sort of emergency? We can't predict what might happen. Battle may soon approach us. There is little to do but wait. So all we can do is wait. Yeah, that is what he said. There was a chance that the call could come at night, so the men stayed awake, ready to act. Just let us know if you need a rest a bit, Chizuru. You're always welcome to sleep on my lap. Brother, I'm good. I'm a pass. Oh no, I'm fine. I'll pass. I'm good. I'm actually on a diet. Harada laughed as I shook my head. It wouldn't be fair for me to be the one to sleep. The men had to remain alert, anticipating that they could face death at any moment. I mean, they did sign up for it. That's all I'm saying. Anxiety wrapped around me until I slept near dawn. The men, however, were vigilant through the night. Even if as they drifted in and out of consciousness, I could see them nearby, persisting against the night. The break of dawn burned my eyes as I heard it. A cannon! I love that it's in all caps. Okay, fanfiction. The crack of a gunshot tore through the morning air, and in the distance I heard men shouting and the clang of metal. The fighting had begun. The captains looked at one another and nodded. It's time we left. I stared at him for a moment, perhaps not yet fully awake until I understood what he was saying. Right. With a quick nod, I readied myself to go, then... Stop, what do you think you're doing? We were ordered to stay here. Did you just tell me to stop? He's so sassy! Even during our lengthy march. Also, the ponytail really doesn't help with that. The day before, I'd never seen Hijikata mad. What do you mean? Bitch, he's mad every day! He's mad every second! He's mad every moment. Maybe because of his position as commander, he was afraid to express himself when his temper flared up, but it looked as if he reached his limit. Normally, he left the yelling to Nagakura and stayed patient when speaking with army officials. This time, however, he finally had enough. I thought your job here was to protect the imperial estate, but you'd rather sit on your fat ass. Why is he like this? We're here to stop those Choshu assholes from attacking. Tell me, what are the Choshu doing? But we haven't received any orders. Hijikata was in no mood for excuses. If you got any kind of pride in your job, then forget your goddamn orders and move! Without even waiting for a response, Hijikata spun around and stalked off, fuming. Fucking fuming! Where are we going? I didn't dare raise my voice above a whisper, but I asked Saito, who was walking near me. To the enemy, which in this case means Hamaguri Gate. Hamaguri Gate, you mean where Aizu's main force is protecting, right? The battle at the gate is likely to be an intense one. You'd better prepare yourself. Alright. Hijikata's fury seemed to rouse the Aizu's reserve, who up to this point seemed flustered by the threat of conflict, watching the Shinsengumi march. At the end, they followed the Shinsengumi to the Hamaguri Gate. Before long, we'd arrived. Oh my gosh. The gate was pockmarked with scores of bullets everywhere. Oh, I did see somebody had a fucking gun in the thing, and I didn't even put two and two together when I saw that originally. I was like, who's got a gun, bitch? And everywhere dead and dying soldiers littered the ground. The acrid stink of firearms hung in the air. Even though I tried to prepare myself mentally for what lay before me, my heart shattered from the traces of war occurring ahead. The enemy, however, was nowhere to be seen. We had arrived too late. The battle was already over. After a moment of stunned silence, several of our men were dispatched by Hijikata to determine what happened. Then Kondo sighed. What are the Choshu thinking? They've raided the imperial estate. I find it difficult to know what they're doing. How do they claim to be an imperialist domain? Kondo simply nodded. The Choshu define themselves as among those who revered the emperor, yet they attack his home? It didn't make sense to me either. Nevertheless, the damage was done. I was in the middle of pondering their reasons when Saito returned to me. It appears the Choshu attacked Hamaguri in the early morning, but were repelled by the combined forces of the Aizu and Satsuma. The forces standing against them were too much for the Choshu, who were forced to retreat. The corner of Hijikata's mouth curled into a grin. So Satsuma is helping Aizu now, are they? Times sure are changing. Considering their less than friendly past, it would seem the Choshu became their common foe. The Satsuma and Aizu domains hadn't been on the best of terms. I thought they had outsmarted the family domain and allied with the imperial court to expel foreigners. However, I recall my father telling me that they were not much different than the Choshu. Unlike the Choshu, however, they'd gone to war with a foreign force and suffered a devastating loss. Following their defeat, I learned that Satsuma began to reconsider their nationalistic stance. They were like, damn, we got our ass handed to them, maybe we should let them in. If you can't beat them, join them, you know. However, these were only rumors, and what had come to pass had yet to be fully determined. Hijikata, supposedly there's still some of the Choshu bastards fighting over at the Kuji Gate. Oh, hey, it's Ninja. Hijikata's expression changed as he considered Harada's words, but before he could open his mouth to speak, Yamazaki appeared. Commander, we believe that the men who led this raid are headed for Mount Tenno. Hakuoki is one part kissing game, one part history lesson, one part the most insane fantasy you've ever seen. I'm excited. You know, weirdly enough, maybe this is the nerdy side of me, but I kind of enjoy the weird history lessons. Unfortunately, I do find, like, historical fantasy Japan to be interesting. Even though, like, all the terminology makes my tongue spin. Like, it's insane. But hi, Katie, thanks for dropping by. Nothing crazy has happened other than just, like, me shitting on half the guys, which is just, you know, for fun. Oh, I love the lore. More of it, please. I actually had way more fun. I know some people on Reddit were like, Kyoto wins is basically just common route the game, which I understand how that could be off-putting for a lot of people, but personally, I mean, as long as it's interesting, I can't really complain too much, you know? These guys are gonna have to work anyway. Right now, I don't want none of these motherfuckers kissing me. They're gonna have to put in the work. Between Kyoto and Osaka, supposedly they're in the middle of escaping from Fushimi towards Osaka. After hearing the report from both Harada and Yamazaki, Hijikata contemplated deeply. Although Kondo was recognized as the formal head of the Shinsengumi, I learned from everyone that all major decisions were deferred to Hijikata. This was no exception, and I could see that all eyes were on him. I mean, he is the guy on the front of the cover. He was silent for a few moments, and then I saw his mouth curve in a small smile. Looks like our work cut out for us, boys. Jesus. Harada, take your men to Kuja Gate to deal with these Choshu bastards. I think it's more fun if you play one route in one game than follow up with the other. That's what we're planning to do for the stream. Because, first off, I'm not playing with a walkthrough at all, so whatever fucking route I end up on is whatever route I end up on, unless I die or something. If it goes, like, horribly wrong, I'll have to, like, refer to a walkthrough, but in the meantime, which I did not do. You were in the thick of it. That's crazy. It's like playing a regular Otome game where you just play half of each person's route and then you stop and then you just like keep going down all of them. But hey, to be fair, that's the game's fault for not making it clear to their players. Sure thing, boss. Saito Yamazaki, I want you to figure out what the situation is here. Hold Hamaguri Gate. As you wish. Got it. I like that they're color coordinated. Your job's a tough one, Chief. I know this is a bitch, but I want you to speak with the Aizu bigwigs about punitive expedition. So, punitive exposition for the Choshu, right? Some of those bastards are headed for the Tenno, but others will run around and cause trouble. If we're gonna go after them, then we'll need to leave Kyoto, and only you can get those papers. Get us those papers. The Shinsengumi were entrusted with the protection of Kyoto, and if this war was for aiding the Aizu, then they had to do more than just guard the gate. Oh, Kondo. I don't know what that means. I can't tell if you're excited. I think some people wanted to romance him. I don't think he's romanceable, unless I misread somewhere, but who's to fucking say, right? There's so many of these bitches. Meant that we needed permission from the military commissioner, meaning the Aizu. I see. If it's the chief of the Shinsengumi, the commissioner's office will listen to what we want. After what we'd gone through the other day, I didn't imagine Kondo's task would be an easy one. That's Dad. That's Papa. That's Papi. Still, he's a very sweet man. He's kind of a dumbass, which I like. I like that in a man. I like half a brain cell. My favorites right now are Saizo. We love Saizo. We've always loved Saizo. Probably number one at current. And then Hijikata, unfortunately, because I like a bitch. I like my men to be little bitches. I find that very funny. And unfortunately, Sonnen. I do like, I can't think of his fucking other name. Heisuke. There you go. I like Heisuke just fine. Heisuke's sweet. Everybody else could probably go die. Sorry, girl. I said unfortunately, okay? Again, I want you to go with him. Somebody has to keep an eye on our chief, all right? Of course, I'll do my best, Commander. Another laugh ran through the soldier, and Kondo's mouth twisted into a wry sort of smirk. Perhaps he chose not to deny it because he knew he might go a little crazy. The rest of you are coming with me to Tenno, and as for you, he looked directly at me. Oh fuck. I wasn't a warrior, nor did I have political ties. Hijikata didn't know what to do with me, and I couldn't make a fucking cup of tea to save my goddamn life. Suddenly, I felt very much like dead weight. You can't go with Kondo, but other than that, it's up to you. Okay, alright. Is this where I choose my route? No, I have no idea. I don't even think that's how the game works. Kondo was meeting with the leaders of the Aizu. If I joined him, there would be nothing for me. I had many options for what I could do. Hijikata would be pursuing the leaders of the Choshu attack towards Tenno Mountain. Saito would be staying at Hamaguri Gate to protect it and to gather information. Harada and his men would be going to Kuje Gate to stop the attack on the Imperial State. The question was, where would I go? Fuck, I immediately forgot which one Saito was on. Okay, wait, no, I could just go back and read. Hey, Diamond. Come here. Can you hear her? She's so loud. Diamond, come here. You want to say hi? She's giving me a scary look. I'm sorry. Okay, Saito is at Hamaguri Gate. Okay, cool. I mean, Harada's okay. It's the middle of the pack there. Like, not bad, not great. Just, he exists. And Kenpachi is currently at the fucking bottom, with Okita, like, just standing a little bit above him right now. Like, I kind of like Okita because I do like the annoying archetype, but personally, I just, like, to me, he's unappealing looking. He looks like a basketball. Like, I don't like him. Harada Slater in front of me. He's not the worst. He's just there right now. He's done very little to impress me. The only thing he's done so far is like be a bit submissive, which I found kind of funny. But other than that, I'm like, my faves were Soma, Okita, and Harada. You would like Okita. Like, in the nicest way. No, it's not a bad thing. I decided to remain at Hamaguri Gate with Saito. Before long, the rest of the Shinsengumi was gone, and it was time for us to begin our own mission. What does mean? First, we must speak with Aizu on behalf of the Shinsengumi. In all the excitement, I completely forgot that the Shinsengumi were ordered to stay with the reserves. Instead, we chose to march to battle. Saito is probably right to try and smooth things over with the Aizu as soon as possible. I mean, I'm only speaking as a girl who's only completed no routes. I haven't gotten on one route yet. Haven't even gotten through even like minutia of the game. So everything is subject to change. Honestly, in this very stream alone, the entire ranking system could be completely shuffled. If you like, I could take care of that. I imagine recent events have thrown their commanders into confusion. They shouldn't impede us. Okay, then I will leave that task to you, Yamazaki. Send word for me if you encounter any difficulty. Yamazaki bowed once, then turned on his heel and disappeared. The area near the Hamaguri Gate was filled with warriors. I could see some men from the Aizu domain and perhaps some men from Satsuma as well. They appeared to be arguing over something. We'd been looking around the area to get the lay of the land when we sensed something unpleasant and went to investigate. That was when we found the confrontation between the Aizu and Satsuma. What are they arguing about? I assume it is over who will take credit for this battle. How petty. Oh. The words were barely out of my mouth when one of the Satsuma men noticed us. Wait, is this Shinsengumi really? You know they're a bunch of filthy peasants, right? Damn. Hear that, boys? The Aizu were too scared to fight if they don't have some Ronin bums to back them up. What? The MC gets so offended. Oh, like, girl, I could see the faces of the Shinsengumi stiffen and more than one hand moved towards the sword. Saito, however, was implacable as ever. Ignore them, you have a job to do. He swept his cool gaze slowly over the men, looking each man in the eye. They shifted restlessly, but their hands dropped from their swords. Hey, Satsuma, you son of a bitch! How dare you mock us as Aizu! His face was bright red and his sword shook as he held it at the ready. If something wasn't done soon, that sword was likely to start spilling blood. Who is this ugly? The MC in this game makes me giggle. I like her. She had some really funny... Police? We had, there was a clip that I did from last where like, that one guy is flirting with you, like Saitani or whatever, and then she's just like, he did not respect my agency, I kept telling him no, but he kept pushing. Like, she was just like laying into him in her thoughts, and I was like, queen, holy shit. What, you'll face me? Then taste my steel! With a yell, the soldier threw himself forward, raising his sword to anticipate a deadly cut. Saito dashed forward, almost too fast to see, and stopped before the charging man. Stop, he's far too strong for you. I apologize for the trouble we caused at the end. I believe I had a duel with a boy named Toto. So, if I didn't rescue Okita last thing, then I would have faced this dude instead, or does he just face whatever dude I didn't choose? I mean, I'm not really looking for an answer, but I'm just thinking in my head. If his injury hasn't healed yet, please tell him that I apologize for not showing more restraint. Okay, well that's nice. It was you who defeated Toto then. Yes, I suppose that would fit. If Saito had even heard the man's apology, he showed no sign of it. I imagine the Satsuma sent you to the end of spies to learn what the Choshi were planning? The man simply shrugged and tilted his head to the side almost quizzically. I am such an unfortunate fan of slightly pathetic, self-sacrificing MCs. I am holding us back as people. She's like, I like when they're just, you know, have no agency whatsoever. I'm just joking, I'm joking. There's nothing wrong with that. I think in a way, like when people are like, oh, I wanted a female MC who's like forward, and it's like, you know, feminism is about wanting the girls to be stay-at-home moms and also to, you know, like have their own jobs and stuff. It's not one or the other, you know, like all girls can do their thing. Like obviously I have my preferences. I prefer my MC to be a little less of a pushover, but you know, like pushovers are girls too. They're just doing their thing. I get it. I was a pushover once before. Saito took a step towards him. Oh shit. Ah! That's my default MC ass out. I don't know what she's going for when she does that. LMAO, pushovers are girls too. I like my girls to be doormats from time to time. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We love a doormat. Lay there, queen. The tip of Saito's sword was only a hair's breadth from the man's forehead. He drew it so fast I saw no blur of silver as it left the scabbard. Unperturbed, the man glanced down at Saito. The Shinsengumi has unfinished business with you. Maybe not today, but Toto will have his revenge. How sweet. Saito's so cute. Perhaps, but I have no reason to fight the Shinsengumi today. I'm actually on vacation. He replied as calmly as if they had been enjoying tea together. Saito said nothing, and his sword did not move. Was Saito really that angry? I could certainly see why he would have been, but this is not the time to settle grudges. Girl, you were... Okay. Trust Saito. Stop him. Ooh, stop him how? Pardon? Do you have, like... Wait. Do you have a strategy behind this, or you're just like... In the name of the trees. It's like... We're trusting Saito. What are we gonna fucking do? Even though I am curious to see what that would look like. Would it be funnier? No, we're gonna stick with my original thing. We'll see it eventually. Alright? But that's absurd. Stop him, she said. Stop, Saito. This isn't you. Your heart. Oh, she meant stop Saito, not stop the other guy. Okay. That might make more sense. Still a little silly, but you know. Saito was also well aware of his duties and was not the sort of man to allow motion to compromise his decisions, as shown by his ordering his men to stand down after being grievously insulted. I didn't know what it was, but he had a plan. He must have somehow sensed my decision, because for a moment his eyes flicked to me and he smiled. Ah. I like that little decal. I have no interest in escalating the situation. Our goals are the same. However, we cannot overlook any further insults. If you persist, then the Aizu domain and Shinsengumi will have no choice but to take action. The tall man from the Satsuma nodded deeply. It is true our speech and conduct was unbecoming. My apologies on behalf of the Satsuma domain. Saito returned the man's nod and slid his sword back into his scabbard. The Satsuma men seemed displeased with how things turned out, but whoever the tall man was, none of them dared to speak out against him. Now I understood what Saito had intended to do. By forcing the Satsuma to apologize, he had allowed the Aizu to save face by directly confronting the issue. He had been able to avoid any bloodshed. Did we do the right thing? Because the Satsuma man understood his intentions, he apologized. Regardless, I couldn't help but sigh, relieved that we avoided another pointless fight. I also hope to avoid conflict. I am grateful to you for stepping down. He bowed deeply. My name is Kyuju Amagiri. I pray. Oh, was this. No. Was this the guy they were talking about earlier? I pray that we will be able to work together when next we meet. His introduction finished, he turned and walked slowly back through the ranks of the Satsuma, towering above them as he went. Saito, you never intended to fight him, did you? There was a short silence. Saito looked coiled inside himself, staring in the direction Amagiri walked towards before speaking. I'd hoped that the display of my eye would be enough to dissuade him, but it seems he saw right through my ruse. Huh? Saito practiced Ai, a sword style that focused on drawing a blade and striking in a single stroke. Amagiri made no attempt to dodge his blow. How would he have known that Saito intended to stop just before the blow landed? The Satsuma commands some very dangerous men. If they were not men of reason as well, we would already be dead. I wasn't sure if Saito was talking to me or himself, and before I could ask, he turned and walked away. We returned to Hamaguri Gate to await Yamazaki's return, but there was little else to do. After that incident, there were no battles. However, the tension remained unabated. Was it possible for the Satsuma and Aizu to find a common ground and coexist peacefully? It seemed like imagining such a world would be an impossible dream. The Choshu extremist attempted attack on the imperial estate eventually came to be known as the Hamaguri Rebellion. Although the Shinsengumi were called to action, their efforts were stymied, right? Stymied? And they found little in the way of glory. I've never seen that word. Communication with their superiors was poor at best, and they spent much of the battle waiting with the reserves. When the Shinsengumi finally entered the battle, each man found several strange opponents awaiting him. Chikage Kazuma, who defeated Okita at Ikeda, claimed to be from the Satsuma domain during his encounter with Hijikata. Kyuju Amagiri, the man who shattered Heisuke's head guard at Ikeda, also claimed membership in the Satsuma. Who's this? They had also met Kyo Shiranui, who'd fought alongside men from Choshu. Okay, whoever you are. Whoever they were, it was clear they were not allies of the Shinsengumi. Indeed, it seemed they could easily become some of its greatest enemies. If they were to meet in open battle, the casualties would be severe. By the time the battle was over, the commanders of the Choshu attack had been killed in the fighting, or took their own lives. There were some soldiers, however, who escaped, setting Kyoto ablaze as they fled. By some terrible misfortune, winds that day blew from the north and fanned the flames, reducing the southern end of Imperial Estate to ash. As a result, the Choshu attacked. Many Imperial nationals were executed. R.I.P. With the Hamaguri Rebellion over, the Choshu were branded as traitors for attacking the estate. From then on, they were acknowledged enemies of the court. Yeah, they seem to just be doing some wacko nonsense. I mean, go crazy, but what's the point? My chat. There we go. There we go. November 1864. That was a lot of word salad in that last section. November 1864. As we went deeper into autumn, the lush winds wrapped me as gorgeous clouds rippled across the cool gray sky. Here I go! I was carrying my lunch into the common room when I overheard a conversation. So you're saying the relationship between the Aizu and Tosa domains is getting complicated? Yeah, tensions cooled when each domain offered a member to commit suicide, but damn if it doesn't leave a bitter taste in your mouth. I had a hunch on what the two were talking about, so I couldn't help myself from stopping when I caught on their conversation. This summer at Akebonote, a traditional Japanese restaurant, an incident pink occurred. Fuck, I don't know actually how to access the terminology on my fucking PC at all. So I'll just have to manually go to the control. What is the incident, huh? This is absurd that they have these many entries. This is homework. The incident. Is it in T? Are you joking? Oh my god, it is. Bitch, what incident? Oh yeah, the controls of this game are bonked. Yeah, coming from Renpai, when I pressed space and it was just skipping, I was like, what do you mean? What are we doing? I guess we'll never know what the incident was. The Aizu domain joined the Shinsengumi, but one of the Aizu members injured a member of the Tosa domain, causing a big problem. It took a while to shake the animosity between the Aizu and Tosa domains. Oh hey Chizuru, is it time for lunch already? If you need help, we'll be here for you. Oh, don't worry. No, it's fine. Placing food is nothing. We can walk and talk and everything. Damn, he wants us. As I rushed to work, Harada laughed and followed behind me. Heisuke and Nagakura continued to talk while Harada and I were setting up. So, who's the warrior with the Aizu? Don't tell me. Yep, it's exactly whom you're thinking of. That freaking Takeda is always drawing his sword and asking questions later. Nagakura sighed and then, speak of the devil. Excuse me, is Chief Kondo here? I love how cunty this motherfucker is, though. I will say, I'm a fan of it. As if summoned by his name, Takeda appeared with a sulky face in the common room. Smash! To be fair, half of my attraction to this character is one, cunty, but two, he's voiced by the same guy who does Dio, and that's always going to speak to me. I believe Kondo is with Hijikata right now. Commander Hijikata? Huh? I see. Takeda shook his head, and he tried to leave the common room. Before he did so, however, he suddenly stopped to face everyone. Just so you all have the facts, I never draw my sword without thinking. Okay, I'm sorry, boo. That Tosa warrior had it coming since he refused to answer my question and tried to escape. Don't get that wrong. He said, and for the record, if you're going to speak on my name, you better learn who you're talking about. After spitting that out, Takeda stormed out of the common room. So sassy. What do you know? Sounds like he heard everything. I mean, you guys aren't really quiet. He's the one who caused all of this, and he has his head up his ass. Can't say I'm surprised. Shut up. Well, he does have a point, doesn't he? Yeah! The warrior from the Tosa domain should have just told him who he was. It's his fault for trying to run away. Tosa has an internal group within the Imperial Nationalist part known as the Loyalist Party. I know what that means. I'm sure they want nothing to do with us. Nagakura perked up like a bunny at the sound of Saito's words, as if he remembered something. Oh hey, Saito, the inn you visited in search for clues about Kodo was called the Terada Inn, right? Yes, what of it? I heard that the inn is frequented by members of the Satsuma domain, but I also heard Ronin from the Tosa domain stay there often. Wait, does that mean... I looked towards Saito and he responded thoughtfully. Perhaps. The man who approached you the other day may have been a Tosa Ronin. Who was it? I think his name was Umataro Saitani. Yeah, that motherfucker. He didn't look like he belonged to a domain, though. He looked more like a Ronin. Harada's voice actor is also the actor for Shadow the Hedgehog. No fucking way, dog. That's so funny. Suddenly, I'm so much more interested. That sounds fishy. Maybe we should investigate this further. Let us consider the Aizu's domain's position, regardless of whether this man is a Ronin. Diamond, your dad is in the other room. Just go bother him. Come here. You want to be on stream? I mean, you made yourself known. Regardless of whether this man is Ronin, it isn't in our best interest to meddle with a Tosa man. Yeah, but that doesn't mean we should just drop the fact that he could be causing trouble. You never know what could happen. Well, for now, we can find out whether or not the guy was really a Tosa Ronin, and at best, learn what he's up to in Kyoto. Yeah, hey, Chizuru, next time you see him, can you try to get some information? Where he's from and what he's doing in Kyoto? Get some information? I spoke to him very briefly the other day, but far from our conversation, Saitani doesn't appear to be a troublesome person in the least bit. Debatable. I'll try my best, but I don't know if I can do what you want without sounding suspicious. If Saitani became aware of what I'm doing and abducts me, Jesus, what a jump. The Shinsengumi would be in trouble. Before I can imagine it, Nagakura waved his hand. Oh, well no, I was joking. I mean, I can't ask you to do something too risky. Man, your whole life is a joke, so whenever you claim to joke, how would you know if it's a joke? Watch what you say, you dumbass. Okay, suddenly Harada jumped up like 3 points. Like, that's insane. That's so funny. Your whole life is a joke. Damn! Let him get back up. He ate him up, he chewed him up and spit him out. What the hell? Where do you calling me a joke? That hurts, man. I mean... True is true, what can you say? After setting the table, I ate lunch with the men. The next day, I joined Saito and the members of the 3rd Division on a round. That was so funny, oh my god. Oh! At first, I thought I'd recognize someone who looked like my father, but, I mean, just any bald man within, like, 10 meters, but I realized the only thing that was similar was his kimono. The face looked nothing like his. Sigh. Can you imagine if she just found her father just randomly walking the streets? It just like would take all the momentum out of the story, but it'd be kind of funny. I don't know how many times I can endure this disappointment. I tried to fall back into formation with the men when Chizuru! Someone yelled my name from the crowd, and I stopped walking to glance. Is it the Saitani guy? I knew it! Man, I never thought I'd get to see you again. I wonder if this is fate. Oh! You remembered me, right? We looked for your father, remember? We didn't do shit, dog! Yes, I remember, Saitani. Thank you so much for accompanying me during my search. Saitani laughed heartedly, baring his bright white teeth. He looks like a whore. I do like how forward he is, but it kind of comes off as, like, nice guy a lot of the time, so he kind of gives me weird vibes, but he's not the worst. Oh, please, it was no problem at all. I mean, it's not as if we found him anyways. So what happened afterward? Were you able to locate your father? Well, no. Saitani's expression dropped into a glum frown as if he felt genuine pity for me. Oh. I mean, it's not like it's a sure thing that he's gone for good, right? So turn that frown upside down, girl, and let the good times roll. Okay. Say, why don't we grab a delicious bite to eat? If you're paying. Well, I was about to decline his offer when I remembered the Shinsengumi wanted me to investigate Saitani's origin and purpose for staying in Kyoto. The Shinsengumi have been looking out for me, so it was time I looked out for them. The 3rd Division went on before me. From the distance, I saw Saito stop for a second. Oh, are you jealous, bae? Before nodding in approval from afar once he realized whom I had met. I love Saito so much. What's the matter, Chizuru? You're talking to a hottie like me and you're looking away? You're a tough nut to crack. Damn right, I got my eyes elsewhere. Sorry. You're gonna have to do a little bit more work than that, buddy. Oh no, it's not like that. Except it entirely is. I shook my head and tried to change the subject. So Saitani... what's up? You see, I wanted to ask you something. And what would that be? I aim to please you, so anything you have to add... Okay! You know what? I'm listening. What's wrong? Cat got your tongue? I thought you had a question for me. You really did the TikTok sound of just like, what, you got something to say? Cat got your tongue? He's like, don't ask him. Ask him. Ask him, girl. I mean, what's the point of even being here? Well, I guess if you're willing to hear me out, then here it is. Tell me, Saitani, are you a Ronin? Yep, I happen to rock this look. By the way, just so you know, I'm not married or anything. I do like this character. Like, I do like that he's just like putting it all on the table. He's just putting it out there just so you know, just in case. No ring, baby, but there can be. That's Lyra coded, I fear. I love it. I didn't really ask if you were single. I don't care. I desperately tried to steer the conversation back to its original course. I do like that about the MC, where she's just like, she's not really, she's kind of given demisexual, you know? She's like, she could fall in love, but it ain't her main priority. She's got other big things going on. I have an older brother, older sister, and a little sister, but they all tell me to hurry up and get married and settle down. Oh, so that's why you're doing that? That's no fun. I mean, they know better than anyone that it'll take a lot more than marriage to settle me down. Yeah, I bet. Oh, really? You're giving Kojaku, my guy. He seemed hell-bent on giving me an in-depth answer, but sadly, it was not the answer I wanted or even asked for. She's so funny with him. I love this dynamic. Actually, you guys are great. So, Chizuru, I want to ask you something too. Is that okay? Sure, babe. I mean, you've been talking this whole time. Sure, what is it? I answer without even thinking what it could be. What you really mean to ask is, who are you really? Is that right? I mean, yeah. Ah! No, not ah. Yeah. He changed his tone, shifted his posture upright, and went straight to the point. It was jarring. Huh, I had a feeling, if that's what you wanted to ask, why didn't you just say so? I mean, I kind of did. How? Based on your shaky behavior, anyone could guess that you had something up your sleeve. I mean, I can probably count on one hand all of the possible questions you'd ask me. Oh wow, I didn't know it was that obvious. I was disappointed in my investigation skills, but Saitani continued nonetheless. You see, I travel as a lordless Ronin, so when I met you the other day, I couldn't tell you my real name. Sorry about that. It felt a little funny giving you all my alias, but I figured if we cross paths again, that'd mean it's fate for us to come together, right? Now that we're here, I'll tell you my real name. I'm Ryoma Sakamoto, a lordless ronin of Tosa. Sakamoto. Just as Nagakura and the other men predicted, he was a Tosa ronin. I'm currently stationed at the Navy training. Oh, damn, he's just giving us all the information. Okay. Opened by the shogunate in Kobe. Or Kobe. That is why occasionally I pop up in Kyoto for a visit. So you're allied with the shogunate. Well, I guess you could say that. If he's an ally of the shogunate, then at the very least he wouldn't be an enemy of the Shinsengumi. Phew, that felt like a huge burden lifted from me. So what exactly does one do at the Navy training location? We've learned how to steer ships. I'm not talking about a small little fishing boats either. I'm talking the black ships. Black ship? Like a warship? Didn't someone, Commodore Perry, visit in one of those 10 years ago? Exactly. It's an institution to teach people how to steer such ships for the Japanese people. So even if we can be taught to steer ships like that. I've never seen one myself, but I'd heard stories about how black ships were as big as whales and that they could cut through the sea. Well, of course we can. Whether we're Western or Japanese, it's not like our brains are different or something. True! Oh. Sakamoto's passion was contagious, and he impressed me with his enthusiastic style of speech. Ships and boats are incredible, especially those new steamboats. You can Steamboat Willie. Beep, beep. You can transport cargo in half the time and carry double the normal load. Okay, he's like a car nerd, but like for the time period that he's in. That's kind of cute. Wow. Me pretending to be interested. Right, and you know what they say, time is money, so anyway, with a steamboat, that's twice the time and twice the money. They're stinking rich. The country known as Great Britain, who basically rules the ocean, is the world's largest nation of pirates. Damn. You hearing this, Keeney? Whether you're a businessman or a general, this new age is all about who rules the sea. I see. Sakamoto was rattling on so quickly that I was honestly overwhelmed by his words. Then, as usual, he snapped into another tone entirely. You have such a good soul. You don't look like you could ever betray someone. Where is this coming from? I'll have you know, I've watched like 10 men die. I'm sure if I didn't tell you who I was, you'd be in deep water, wouldn't you? Girl, what? What did I do? Oh, it won't be like that. I need him to learn social cues so bad. He's so fun. I kind of relate to him. Before I could finish, a visitor approached us. Who is this? They're introducing a new fucking Bishonen every goddamn minute. Oh, Saitani, who are you talking to? That a friend there? His name's not Saitani, his name's Sakamoto, dumbass. An aggressive looking Ronin who I do like. Ronin walked up to us, staring me down and keeping his guard up. Oh, this is a friend. What? Boy, just a friend? You trying to marry me? I got footage of it. Sakamoto picked up my discomfort, so he discreetly whispered to me off to the side. His name is Hakuoki. Well, he's kind of my colleague. Oi, wait, I'm Ishikawa. Saitani? I'm confused. Oi, I already told her my name. There's no point in hiding yours. Ugh, how can you just give your real name to a stranger, huh? You need to sort yourself out. You need to learn some social cues. Is this kidding? Hakuoki looked gravely at me, and his tone was short and brusque. I'm Shintaro Hakuoki. I'm Yukimura. Nice to meet you. I bowed to him, and Hakuoki glared at me with a suspicious gaze. Oh, he's me. You a girl? You a girl? Yeah, bitch. Can't you tell? Forgot to mention I'm actually in this game. Oh, shit. This is so cool. Kini lore. Oh me. I wasn't expecting him to realize it so quickly, so I felt a sudden rush of panic. But luckily Sakamoto covered for me. Some people have reasons for dressing a little funny, you know. So why don't you let it slide, yeah? Okay, King! Ally! He really said, just let people do whatever the fuck they want to do. Oi, I don't know what kind of reasoning you got, but to walk around a boy like in Kyoto at a time like this is a little fishy. Bitch, I just like pants. It ain't that deep. Okay, the K in Hakuoki stands for Kini. And for... Fuck, I couldn't think of a mean word because he said something kind of problematic, so I was just gonna call him a name. You're safe this time. I didn't know how to respond. Anyway, Sakamoto, people are waiting on you, so let's get out of here. Oh, that's right, huh? Guess it's time to get going. I like you. Later, Shizuru. You know what? I like you too, Sakamoto. You can come back. I won't mind. I'll have a good time at least. Oh, you take care as well, Sakamoto. Bye. I'm not sure when I'll be in Kyoto next, but whenever that is, I hope I see you again. Yes, that would be lovely. Damn, he's jealous. Oh, am I taking your man, bitch? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's so mad. Stay mad, ho. Oh, wait, Sakamoto, stop lagging. Let's hurry up, shall we? Ow, alright, stop yanking on my ears. Why are you so mad? Damn. There's a lot of, like, subtle BL in this game, which I wasn't expecting. Like, I don't think they intended that. Maybe they did. I don't know. Shut it. I lose you for just 1 second and I find you messing around. He reminds me. Sakamoto. Oh, he reminds me of, fuck. I can't think of the name. I'm gonna have to look it up because this is a banger. Like, this is right on. There's an anime where they do Rakugo. That's what it is. The Rakugo anime. There's only one. It's Showa Roku Rakugo Shinju. Yeah. He reminds me of the main character in that story. Yeah, they got the same vibes. Holy shit. 1 second. I can pull it up. Let me pull this shit up. This is important to me. Unfortunately. This is important to me that everybody knows that I'm aware that the show exists and what the hell? Girl, get out of here. Okay, there we go. I was talking about this anime just yesterday. It's crazy. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. You're lying to me. I pulled up an image for those at home that don't know. Okay. Come on. There it is. He reminds me of the guy on the right. Like, he really gives those vibes. It's so true. And honestly, the other guy kind of gives this vibes too. Okay. Okay. That show was banger. Everybody go watch the show if you haven't seen it already. Good shit. Good time. Guess that was worth dedicating like 2 minutes of the stream to. The two bickered as they disappeared into the many faces of the Kyoto streets. Sakamoto mentioned he was stationed at the Navy training location, right? I wonder if that was the case for Hakuoki too. They didn't seem like bad people. Suddenly, I was brought back to reality. Sorry, I'm trying to get the... Okay, there we go. Yukimura. I heard my name behind me, and I quickly turned to hear a familiar voice. Hi, babe. Saito. I'm so sorry. I fell behind the line. Don't worry about that. About the man who you were speaking, was that man from... Yes, he's the man from Terada Inn. His name is Sakamoto. Were you able to get any information? Yes, only a bit. According to him, he's a Tosa Ronin, but he happens to be allied with the shogunate. He claimed he was undergoing training in order to steer black ships in Kobe. Part of the shogunate's navy, huh? Saito glanced sharply towards the direction in which Sakamoto departed. Then he pierced his gaze directly in me. You claimed his name was Sakamoto earlier, but I thought his name was Saitani. He told me his real name is Ryoma Sakamoto, and since he's a Ronin, he was saying it's hard for him to share his actual identity. And it looked like he had a companion. Who was he? His colleague was named Nakuoka. I see. Saito fell silent, seemingly lost in thoughts that I no doubt couldn't understand, then responded. Let's get back on our rounds. We're falling very behind. Oh, sure. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I felt awful to have delayed Saito's plans like that, but I found myself relieved that Sakamoto wasn't an enemy of the shogunate or the Shinsengumi. He did say he didn't know when he'd visit Kyoto again, but I hope I get to see him again. I recalled Sakamoto's passionate gaze as he spoke. He told me all about those black ships, and it was fascinating to meet someone who enamored with the future. Bro loves technology. Shit gets him rock hard. Ryoma Sakamoto's warrior record has been released. Okay, I don't know what to do with that. Am I supposed to read that? Because that doesn't sound too exciting, would be real. We're in chapter 3! Oh shit, bitch! We're in chapter 3! Okay, Kinky. Who's that? Was that the villain guy? I can't think of his name. Starts with a C, I think. The dawn of the new year arrived. That's true! It's New Year's! Happy New Year's! Technically that was yesterday, but it's fine. It was February of 1865, and we finished eating breakfast. I was carrying a plate full of tea and opened the door to the common room. Tea's ready! Oh, thank you, Yukimura. In a way, so sweet. I made my way around the room, pouring a cup of tea for each person there, making sure not to spill. He gave me a warm smile as I handed him his tea. There's nothing quite so delicious as hot tea on a cold day. Thank you. I felt a flush of pride at his words, even though I knew quite well that serving tea was hardly impressive. Bitch! Just give yourself one, compliment. Just one, please. For me. Just the same, I felt as if I was helping out in a way that was a nice feeling. Then Hijikata spoke, and his words brought me back to the present. The Yagi have been good to us so far, but this place is getting crowded. He's like, some of y'all gotta move out. Y'all gotta start sharing bunk beds. True, it is getting a little small, especially with all the new guys coming in. If we could move to a bigger place, that'd be great. Okay, then pay for it, bitch. Some of the guys in the dorm look stiffed. Yeah, the guys over at Maikawa residence are practically smushed sushi the way they sleep. To be a young grunt these days, I pity them. If only there was something we could do. Easy for us to say, but imagine trying to find who else is willing to let us stay at their place. I mean, we are Kyoto's most hated. A person sitting beside Kondo pointed at the map spread up upon the table. Who is this? Look, I'm running out of space in my brain to keep track of these motherfuckers. What of this Nishi Hongwanji Temple? The Nishi Hongwanji Temple. I can't see any reason for them to accept us. But there are no other locations big enough to accommodate a living space for a few hundred men. And besides, the tactical advantage of this temple would allow us to fortify in times of panic. The man was named Kashitaru Ito. Okay, Ito, that's easy. Recruited by Heisuke a few months ago as the Shinsengumi's military advisor and deputy commander. He developed his notoriety teaching Hokushin Ito in his dojo, and he is known for his scholarliness. Additionally, it is well known that the Nishi used to shelter the Choshu Ronin. I want him to have said that. I mean, I'm telling you, I love the amount of sass and cunt spread out across the guys. I think part of the reason I don't really like Nagakura at all is because he's big manly man and he constantly has to puff out his chest and shit. I'm like, I'm gonna kill you with the gun, and I know that there are guns in this game. Oh, I see, very good points. I can't believe you put this much detail into it. Kondo seemed very impressed by Ito's suggestion, but a silent voice of protest arose. You don't think it's somewhat uncouth to use force against men of the cloth? Ito's brow twitched as if disturbed by the idea, and he faced Sanin directly. Would you say that to the Choshu Ronin who inhabited the temple and did as they please? But my, aren't you nice, Sanin? You're even considering the feelings of the outlaw Ronin who actively disrupt the peace of Kyoto. Okay, this is fun. They're gonna have a sass-off. Go, fight. The girls are fighting. Ito's deflection of Sanin's word left a bitter taste in everyone's mouth, including Sanin. I agree that this extremist imperialist nationalist party must be dealt with, but this seems... Who? They've got to stop. How many more of these fucking characters are there? God damn it. There's too many. Just in this, last hour alone, they introduced 5 dudes. So what are you saying? When we meet in battle, do you expect them to respect the Shinsengumi on name alone and to engage in a fight fair and square? Wouldn't it just be peachy if all these Choshu Ronin were on their best behavior like a Kamakura warrior? Oh, no wonder you love this game so much. To be fair, they're all really cute, but I think for me it's yeah, you cute, but are you doing anything yet? Are you interesting? Are you saying funny things yet? And it's they're kind of just mid until otherwise. The fact that the only one character on the screen is romanceable and it's despicable. That's fair. That's very fair. I don't understand why they would go into why they would go through the trouble to make an attractive character if they're just gonna be actually I know attractive people exist outside the realm of a dating sim, but it's a intentional choice. Saburo, watch your mouth now, darling. Oh, my mistake. Couldn't help myself. Okay, are there actually queer men in this game? It's just that's what it's giving. Okay, and Hakuoki would get a lot of points in my head if they did that. That's all I'm saying. Okita was flirting with our ass when they thought we were a boy. So, And then Hijikata was blushing his fucking ass off when Iba showed up, I think. The other man besides Ito was Saburo Miki, who joined at the same time as Ito. Allegedly, he was Ito's younger brother by blood. Oh, okay, my bad. Sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know. But that's cute. Aw. My apologies, everyone. This young one here has a tendency to let his mouth run free, you see? So, Sanin, don't take it too personally. I'm sure we need a person like you to make the Shinsengumi succeed. Even if your left arm is useless. Your indubitable wit and book smarts shall prove useful, I'm sure. You know, Sanin is kind of given the bookworm. He looks like the bookworm from the computer game, you know what I mean? And like, unfortunately, I still find him attractive, even having made that like connection. So judge me with that how you will. I watched Sanin bit his lip, an act of restraint to Ito's sour words. The tension was cut by another voice. Perhaps I didn't hear you correctly, Ito? Hijikata's voice was cold and sharp like the sound of a blade sliding through a whetstone. Ito seemed taken aback and his eyes grew wide. Sanin's smart, like he said. But above all, he's a swordsman of the Shinsengumi. He is not useless, and he is not replaceable. Get it through your head! Aw, defending your friend. Cute. I mean, he didn't say he was useless. He just said that his arm was useless, which is kind of true. But like, Hijikata only spoke when necessary, so it must have been something he truly believed. However, but my arm is. Even he's like, yeah, I kind of am useless. He kind of ate me up with that one. He couldn't even seem to bring himself to finish. It seemed as though Hijikata realized his words were reminding Sanin of what he used to be, causing Sanin to curl his lips into a frown. Oh dear, I didn't mean to cause such a fuss. Next time, I'll keep my thoughts to myself. No! Sanin is quite the beloved member here, isn't he? It's nice to see such a tight-knit group. It's just that, as I'm sure you've thought about it, I hope the new members share that sentiment. Hijikata's eyes seethed with anger towards Ito. He's so angry. Kondo tried to relieve the tension by stepping in and clearing the air. Well, for now, let's keep business strictly in terms of finding a new headquarters location. Ito, would you mind coming with me? I would love to continue our earlier discussion about a new base. Sure, I'd love to. Oh my god, seeing the two get up, Takada followed right behind them. Nobody invited you! Chief Kondo, may I join as well? Of course, I want you to hear what Ito has to offer and broaden your views. Even the captains in the Shinsengumi must push themselves to learn more than fighting. It is our responsibility to grow and gain knowledge to expand our horizons. Yes, sir. Aww. Sweet. Kondo left the common room with Ito and Miki, however, who still sat before us. What is it, Miki? He smirked coldly towards us, and he slinked off. Not slink, to leave the common room. Okita spoke once Miki's footsteps weren't audible. Bitch, say it to his face. Whatever you're gonna say. Who brought those bastards into Shinsengumi? I'm pretty sure it was Heisuke, they said earlier. The culprit is still in Ito. Damn it, Heisuke. When he gets back, I'm gonna give him a few punches. You leave my boy alone. God damn it. He did a good thing. Fuck you. Ito is with the imperialist, nationalist party, eh? Surprising to see people with the same beliefs as the Choshu bastards joining the Shinsengumi. I mean, look guys, you don't want an echo chamber, okay? It's good to have people who have different views than you in the thing, so chill the fuck out. It ain't that deep. Well, nationalists think themselves to be above the Choshu for whatever it's worth. I mean, the Imperial Nationalist Party is. Well, just listen to the bullshit he was going on about the other day. It seems as though he has rubbed off on Kondo as well, which is a poor influence in my opinion. Well, you're not in charge. Well, Kondo is a kind person. Yeah. He is easily deceived by silver tongues, those who appear virtuous but are real scumbags. Dog, they're just a little sassy. So are y'all. So Ito is our deputy commander, and his little brother is the captain of the 9th Division, huh? That it's gonna be a real bitch. Eventually, Hijikata approached Sanin, who weakly hung his head facing the floor in shame. Sanin, don't listen to that asshole, okay? Listen to me, the other asshole. Sanin laughed dryly and shook his head. He is well educated and a skilled orator. Not only that, he's good with the sword. With such gifted deputy commander, I suppose the Shinsengumi has little need for a colonel. That being like, I guess y'all don't need me anymore. Damn. Walks off. Little, you know, stick with the bag at the end. Okay, we get it. Hey, Sanin. Sanin left the room as Hijikata's voice trailed behind, echoing in the hall. Man, I feel bad for him. Even the men are avoiding him these days. Probably because he's being mean, like, all the time. which is funny, but what? But why? Well, can't blame him. No matter what you say to him, he takes it the wrong way. And no matter what you say, he acts like such a smug smartass, so the warriors are intimidated and want nothing to do with him. I mean, seems fair to me. Oh no, poor Sonnen. Not really! Even though I haven't been here as long as the captains, I knew Sonnen was so well liked by the other warriors before his injury. Hey Hijikata, can't you come up with some bullshit excuse to kick Ito out? At least he's being real. He's just like, I just fucking hate these guys, and I want you to abuse your power and get rid of them. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Ever since they arrived, it's been nothing but bad vibes and sour moods. You know damn well I cannot do that. I mean, look at the way Kondo fawns over Ito. Besides, he brought a large force of men behind him when he joined. Do you think they won't make a stink if we were just to disappear? Well, damn, aren't you supposed to be the demon? The commander from hell? You're supposed to make the impossible happen. He's like, aren't you, like, the biggest bitch this side of the east? Like, do something. Fine, Soji. How about we make you commander? Then you can kick Ito and his guys out, alright? Hell no. That's way too much trouble. I mean, at least he's real. If nothing else, Okita is a real one through and through. I can't disagree with this. The consensus was that Ito was not to be trusted, and it seemed no one spoke in his defense. Only one, during all this quietly sipped his tea. Ooh, Saito, what are you gonna say? Saito quietly looked up at me as I poured more tea into his cup. So, what do you think about Ito? I mean, about Ito joining, that is. As an organization grows, it will expand to include people who have differing ideas and points of view. Saito is so fucking based. He is so me. He is mine, okay? It's been proven. So then, however, if one attempts to force this sort of diversity, then the organization will begin to rot from within. His words hung in the air, a dark omen for the future of the Shinsengumi. It was considered of Ito to join, but his presence seemed to be a recipe for dissension, if not outright disaster. Damn, they just be hating on them, huh? The setting sun glowed through the windows with a warm, rich maroon and ominous kind of beauty. It's cold. I came out into the yard and my body stopped due to the cold. Guess spring will take a while. I wasn't too fond of Ito, but it was Sonnen and his conditions that truly worried me. Why are you not fond of him? He hasn't done anything to you, dog. Like, at all. I really wish his arm would just heal. Yeah, that's not how that works. Also, you knew Sonnen for like 5 minutes before his injury. Why, like, he's been a bitch since. Like, he's not really a good person. Or perhaps more accurately, the lack of it was the source of his change in personality. Still, as nice it would be for Sonnen's arm to simply start working again, that seemed like the stuff of a child's fable, not real life. That was when I remembered. Hi, Gray! If push comes to shove, he'll have to take it. I don't think Sonnen's just gonna give up. Don't jinx him, Soji. It's gonna look bad if officers start joining the Furies. Okita was talking about the Shinsengumi having some secret serum back in the day. Judging from how they spoke of it, it's an item with circumstances. And I was not to know about the existence of that serum. If I were to look into it without approval, there was no doubt that I'd be punished. Okay, so she's gonna try to find, like, the Temple of the Sacred Ashes so she can heal Sonnen's arm? I wonder if that's what his route consists of, or if that's just, like, a normal thing. But I'm the daughter of a doctor. I'm pretty sure I had more knowledge on medicine than the men of the Shinsengumi did. I returned to my room to investigate. I don't know. I kind of don't really want to investigate right now. Okay, we're gonna investigate because that's what chat said. I'm going to muster the courage to look into this. Of my own free will, but where should I investigate? My room is the Yagi house. There are some rooms that I am not allowed to enter, but the captains live here as well, and I'd finally learned how to navigate the building. However, there was another building that was part of the headquarters of the Shinsengumi, aside from the Yagi house. Some of the leaders, along with other warriors, live in the Maikawa house diagonal from Yagi. Gray, they introduced like fucking 10 dudes just in this like last bit that I've been streaming. I'm not joking. Like all these motherfuckers showed up out of nowhere, out of the walls. And it's not actually 10 dudes, but it's like at least like 5. There are too many characters. There's so many. And apparently even like the really attractive ones, like some of the really attractive ones aren't even romanceable. So it's like, you don't really know who's what. And Sonnen, who's injured, has been holed up in the Nambu residence located behind Yagi. Then what's the point? Exactly. Exactly. Since it's a residence, one cannot just stroll there casually, and since it's barely used by anyone other than the Sonin, it's a little isolated. If there are secrets being kept from me, then they have to be kept in a place I'd never think to check. If I were to look into it, it would either be in or the forbidden areas of the Yagi residence. Which should I look into? Yagi house. I need... Wait. Sorry. I need them to get to smooching. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I read a Reddit thread today, and Kyoto Wins, which is the game we're playing, and this is why you have to play half of, like, I think I explained this yesterday, but in case you didn't hear it, basically when you start a route, there are two Hakuoki games. There's Kyoto Wins, and then there's Edo Blossoms. And basically, it used to be just one big game, but they had to split it up in two, I assume, because of the length. And so when you start a route, like let's say we're doing Hijikata, right? Then you do like half of his route on Kyoto Wins, and then when it finishes, you jump to Edo Blossoms and finish it out. Well, some people don't know that, like Porkini here, so they ended up playing all of Kyoto Wins, which is basically all the like first halves of each route, and then going all the way to Edo Blossoms, you know, can confirm. And it basically is just like common route the game, which if like the story isn't interesting to you, is probably going to take you out of the experience, but we're not going to do that on stream. We're going to actually, you know, play one route, start with Kyoto Wins, and then move to Edo Blossoms, and then go back, and then just keep jumping back and forth basically between games, which is a little annoying. I don't know why they did that, but that is what it is. So, when do they fuck? Probably the second game, I guess. I looked up the content warnings, by the way, which I should have done before I started streaming it, but apparently the content warnings are like PG-13 as hell, so we're good. It was night at the Yagi house and dead silent. I tiptoed down the halls as quietly as possible. Huh? Were my ears playing tricks on me, or did someone just walk into the common room? I would be in trouble if someone saw me, so I did my best to blend into the shadows and hide. After a few moments of heart-pounding seclusion, my curiosity got the best of me. I departed my hiding place and crept towards the common room. We're gonna see something we really shouldn't see. I peered inside. Inside was Sonin, Jork in it. I'm just joking. I wonder why. Something felt wrong. I just stood there. What is Sonin doing here late at night? I was at a loss. Should I speak to him? Or before I could make up my mind, he turned. I never thought it would be you who would catch me. How unexpected. Oh no, he's gonna kill us! Oh no! Sonin gazed directly at me and muttered, "You're there, aren't you, Yukimura? Come out!" This is so scary! I guess he spotted me. Oh no, I've been captured. I gave up and made myself visible to Sonin. I'm sorry, it seemed like I was snooping or watching what you were doing, which is exactly what I was doing. Well, I don't plan on scolding you. I mean, if you see a suspicious shadow in the middle of the night, of course you'd be curious. It was very subtle, but I noticed something was off in Sonin's attitude. He had a peaceful smile, something I hadn't seen for what felt like ages. It was a bit too peaceful, as if his worries had suddenly left him. Why is this beautiful butch lesbian so spooky? It was an expression I had never seen since he'd gotten injured. Sonin, did something good happen? Why, yes, something did. I sacrificed my soul, and now I could use my arm. Or rather, I guess I finally made up my mind. Something swished in his hand. Sonin, what is that? You're wondering what this is, I imagine. Yeah, that is what I just said. After his cryptic reply, we're gonna die. He showed me what was in his hand. Sonin was holding oh, he's a vampire! I'm just joking. A small bottle made from fine edro. The glass was filled with a crimson liquid that looked like a poisonous chemical to me. This is a secret treatment developed by your father, Kodo, under orders from the shogunate. What? The shogunate ordered my father to do something? To do just something. They say it first appeared out in the West. The contents of this tiny vial can utterly transform a person. What do you mean by utterly transform? To put it simply, it makes them stronger and heightens their recuperative abilities. It sounded like something out of a fairy tale. If such a thing were to truly exist, the serum would be considered a miracle cure, not cure. There is, however, a rather serious flaw. Isn't that what she is? Yeah, his smile twisted only a little. I suppose you could say it was too strong. It worked as advertised, but drove its patients mad. You've seen the results yourself, haven't you? I mean, I think. Ah! Of course, I'd seen the result of that madness in the night I first met the Shinsengumi. This is out of a fairy tale, also unrelated. I am Wolverine. That's true. Yeah, we can heal so fucking quick. And like she's like, I've never heard. Wait, hold up. Theory time. So our dad invented this thing that helps people like recuperate really fast, and we're his daughters. So did he give us like microdoses of this as a child, or was it like in our blood? Did he give it to our mom? Didn't her dad invent it? Yeah, he gave it to her. I'm on to this story. Okita and Saito had killed off that monster with his white hair. With the white hair. Oh, sorry. I thought he said he killed them with their white hair. Your assumptions are correct. Yes, those warriors you met are of that ilk. They were no longer capable of what might call a rational thought and were little more than bloodthirsty monsters. Watching you guys theorize is so fun. I'm right, god damn it. Hey, we theorize our Wonderland like most of the time, and we got at least half those things right. At least. Can't wait for you to find out the truth. His words brought a sharp chill down my spine. How horrible. If they lose control whenever they see blood, then they're hardly much use in battle, aren't they? And as unkillable as they may be. Kodo conducted experiments on the corpse during the development of his treatment. No! My father conducting experiments on human beings? Who would do that? That made them go mad at the sight of blood? I couldn't believe it. No, I didn't want to believe it. Our Wonderland theorizing was hilarious. It was. No, I didn't want to. Like the spiders, we got that shit hands down. Exactly. Every time Gidget was on screen, web, spider, Iggy, bug in their web. But there was no reason for Sanin to lie either. I saw it before my very eyes. Then did father really? Sanin shrugged off my disbelief and continued. Unfortunately, when he disappeared, his research was put on hold. The vial here represents the fruits of my own personal research based on what he left behind. He smirked and shook the bottle gently. The liquid inside sloshed from side to side, almost lazily. I've diluted it as much as possible. I had so many questions to ask him, but I didn't know where to start, so I simply spoke the first thing that came to mind. If you drink that, will you be okay? Probably not. So that serum, will it prevent you from going mad? To be quite honest, I'm not entirely sure. I've never tested it on anyone. I'm gonna be my own guinea pig. His smile faded. If I take this, my arm will heal. Assuming, of course, I've mixed it correctly. You mean you're actually considering taking it? He had no guarantee that it would simply kill him outright, and even if it did survive, it might well drive him insane. Sanin, please reconsider this. I'm sure there's some other way. You don't need to rely on this. I have no choice. This is the only way to heal this damn arm. I mean, or you could just get good with one arm. Skill issue. I'm already useless here. Even the men have begun to speak ill of me behind my back. You will never understand me. I came all the way to Ito alongside my comrades, whom I thought were behind me. Something about this guy gives me the ick. Thank you, Gray. You're so right. I know I am. I'm only like the beautiful himbo man who I think you can't romance yet, which is Kondo, yeah. And Kini earlier was talking about DILF and all this different stuff. And now I'm left here, given a position out of pity and left to wallow in my own uselessness. How can you say it's pity? You're a leader here. The Shinsengumi respects and needs you now more than ever. I'm lying. Me when I lie. Sanin's eyes dotted with melancholy, flashing a brief smile that entertained the idea behind my words. Ah, yes, I remember it well. I am a swordsman of the Shinsengumi, yes, and I am not useless, right? Sanin seemed bitterly focused on the words Hijikata said earlier. They really did affect him. There is no life for me as a swordsman. You're asking me to continue in some sort of undeath. Let me die as a person as well. No! I mean, just let him do it. Whatever. Fuck it. Fuck it. Autonomy. Even if it's bad. Where's that bitchy femme with the purple eyes? Hijikata, where are you? It's not decided that it'll fail. The odds against success aren't as terrible as you think. I mean, I only think that because you said it, bitch. Sanin smiled as he said that, but there was no way to know what might actually happen to him. Considering the worst that could happen, I couldn't sit by and allow him to do this. You definitely can, and you probably should. I persuade him. I scream. Why is scream the choice here? I gotta do that. That's way too funny. Ain't no way. Just scream. Who's gonna show up? Let's place bets. My bet is it's gonna be Hijikata or Tondo. Sanin came to hate himself for being unable to fight alongside his comrades and friends. Even if they forgave him, he never forgave himself. But I doubt you can understand. Was it this? If I can't understand, dog, it's because you didn't explain it correctly. It ain't my fault. Only a fellow swordsman could comprehend then. How could I convince him to listen to me? If I couldn't, then perhaps there was someone else who could. I screamed as loud as my lungs allowed, my voice echoing down the halls and across the courtyards of the compound. Help! Please! Anyone! But even as I cried out, Sonnen drew his head back and drained the vial in a simple drop. No! You mean that failed? With the soft clink of glass, it rolled from Sonnen's palm to the floor of the common room. Okay. Dragon Age Origins music. His face warped in pain and he collapsed to the floor. Oh no! Who could have predicted? His hair began to turn white. He says, I am anime! He did the joining! Oh my god! He's just drinking darkspawn blood. It became clear to me that his pain was something no ordinary person can handle. Sonnen, you have to hold on! Through his fingers, I saw his maddening eyes. Before me were the eyes that greeted me on that first night in Kyoto. Behind me, I heard the door slide open. Sonnen looked behind me over my shoulder. Not Okita! What the fuck? Why him? What's going on? Potion that turns your hair white. Potion that makes you slay. He's like, I'm a cosplayer now. Good evening, Sonnen. That's my Pookie. It seemed like Okita didn't even look at me. His eyes completely focused on Sonnen, then briefly the small bottle on the floor, before back to Sonnen. Every time that pops up, it's like the Life is Strange, your action will have consequences or whatever. Thanks for the heads up, Chizuru. Okita, Sonnen is anime. Sonnen stared at Okita, his breath ragged and pained, like air struggling to stay in his chest. Look, I don't want to insult the game or anything, but Okita's crop here is looking a little messy. I ain't gonna lie. You can kind of see the textural, like, this looked like a manual crop, and it's not the greatest. I'm gonna be real sorry. It's kind of like when you use the crop function in Canva, and, like, you have to go back and just do it yourself because this- oh, wait. Yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, she's right. The experiment was a failure. Okita, I hate to impose, but if you could, yes, I understand. Oh, are we gonna kill him? R.I.P. His expression flashed into a familiar grin. Even after Okita drew his sword, it still didn't occur to me what was about to happen. Girl, put two and two together, please. The polished tip of Akita's blade was pointed directly at Sonnen. Don't worry, your little head. It would be my pleasure to help you die. Damn, he's been waiting for this. I'm glad to see you're quick to the task. It's expected from the sword of the Shinsengumi. Just commit seppuku! What the hell? I held my breath, unsure if I wanted to see what was about to happen before me. I mean, it wouldn't be the first or the last time. Okita, you're not serious, are you? You really gonna kill him, are you? My voice shook with disbelief, and Okita's eyes paid me no attention. Yo, Okita must have loved this part. Knock it off. You aren't part of this, so keep your mouth shut. The hell I'm not! I've been here the whole fucking time, bitch. He explained this shit to me, not you. MC, get out of here. But wasn't Sonnen his comrade or his friend? I'm cheering. Everyone seemed to give their heart and soul to Shinsengumi, but not like this. It's really annoying, you know. You think you're part of the Shinsengumi. He didn't even move, but his tone hit like a slap. I'd been living with them for so long that my initial fear almost completely disappeared. I felt like I'd found a place for myself. If you've already forgotten, let me remind you. We only keep you alive because you're useful. You are not one of us. Damn. He really said, you're not like us. His words shattered my already breaking heart. But just then... Sonnen screamed in pain. I saw him kick the floor. Then I heard a horrific sound like meat being cleaved and resounded through the darkness. Ew. R.I.P. Sorry, Pookie. I didn't think you were gonna die before me, but hey. See, pick yourself up, yeah. Peeking over Okita's back, I heard the loud thud of a body collapsing to the floor, and around Okita's foot pooled the dark red puddle of blood. Sonnen, I was trembling as I watched the blood trickle. Stay away from him. Okita's arms appeared in front of me coldly. What? But why? I gave him a reproachable gaze, but he showed no signs of faltering. Are you gonna make me repeat myself? I told you to stay away from him. It's so hard to defend Okita in the early game. You're fighting for your life. But like, that's my Pookie. No, I get it. I like unlikable characters, clearly. So, you know, your Pookie sucks, I fear Kini. Your Pookie looks like a basketball and has kind of bad cropping on his PNG. So, couldn't be my babe, that's all I'm saying. My babe's dead. Oh no! Actually, the person I'm really pursuing right now, Gray, is Saito. Like, he gets better. I swear. I subdued him for now, but I don't know what I did to him. Careful, he might slick it up. Huh? What I did to him isn't enough to kill him. Not after he drank that stuff. He's not gonna die. Oh, okay, cool. So Sanin is still alive? Okita nodded bitterly, his body locked into a defensive position. I just told you, we can't die like you or I can. So yeah, obviously he's still alive. Obviously, duh. Fucking bitch. Idiot. Isn't that what I just said? I was relieved from the bottom of my heart. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness I was gonna romance him. I like romance you have to earn. What can I say? I do too. That's why I like the tsundere characters a lot. Which honestly are very fun. I do like horrible little men. I just like bitches, okay? I don't want them to actually be awful. I just want them to, like, put up their defense mechanisms and say mean shit, but they don't really mean it, okay? They just have very fragile little hearts. They're little soft, squishy crab men. This good news, however, didn't mean we could let our guards down. Sanin could lose his senses again and potentially mortally wound us. Time to chain him up. But for now, at least Sanin is still alive. But I need the MC to fire back at them. No, for real. At least once or twice, bitch. Just once. After Sanin collapsed, the captains rushed into the room. They must have heard the commotion from the common room. Everything glowed white after, and I realized I was in a daze. None of the words stuck in my ear, and I wobbled back to my room. Seriously, you can really be a pain, you know that? I mean, takes one to know one, baby. Okita had taken me back to my room, and I heard him as soon as he opened the door for me. Time for you to explain what went on last night. Why were you there with Sanin? I was creeping. I was eavesdropping. I was sticking my head where it didn't belong. I was, and he does have nice tits. True, base. Okita was never particularly pleasant to me, but his tone was even harsher than usual. I felt like there was someone in the common room. I was curious, so I had to look. I found Sanin in there. I see. That's not the whole truth, girl. Tell him you were trying to investigate and do all this other bullshit. Okita's lackadaisical response seemed disarming, and he just scanned me. Although my mind had cleared somewhat, it was still difficult to keep my thoughts organized. I do like this expression of his. Like, what is this pouty-ass expression? One, however, rose quickly to the surface. Is it true that my father had something to do with that stuff that Sanin drank? Did Sanin tell you that? Yeah. Yes, he said it. Makes you stronger, but it drives you mad. I want to gnaw on him. He fixed his eyes wearily on the ceiling above us, sighing before eventually answering the question. You are the daughter of the man who made that stuff, and you've seen what happens to the men who go crazy. I suppose you do have a right to know. It'd be easier to just kill you, but oh well. Look, man. I could say the same about you. His manner of speaking was far removed than his usual joking self when he mentioned killing, but this time it felt like he meant it. He could kill me at any time. Damn, isn't that hot? So you got any questions? I suppose I can answer one. I desperately searched for the words. Why did the Shinsengumi get involved in something like this? Our job is to crack down on outlaw Ronin, but you know that doing so isn't some walk in the park, right? Yeah. Among the Ronin, there are plenty that are actually skilled swordsmen. When I was on rounds, I saw many such men fighting and dueling amongst themselves. When we started out, we were really short on men. Our reputation was shit, and we couldn't pay that well either. Anyway, we didn't have many people asking to join, and those who did were pretty disappointing. That was when some guy from the shogunate showed up and offered to make us part of this experiment. Oh, an experiment? That must have been what Sanin was referring to. He does look novel. So you knew what the side effects were and you still made them take it? We didn't make them take it. It was their choice. You see, the Shinsengumi has this thing called the rules of conduct. So, just so you don't get all confused, it's a set of rules we employ to keep everyone in line. Usually, if you break our rules, we make you cut yourself open. Cut yourself open? Yeah, bitch! They're soldiers. Hello? We've been here. We know. Why are you so yeah, actually, not me siding with Okita. Why are you surprised? The only way a warrior can own up to something is by cutting themselves open. Traditionally, when samurai disgraced themselves, they drove their swords into their bellies. I had thought such traditions were obsolete, and that now the worst they do is pretend to cut themselves open with a fan. Huh? What? You get it, right? If they're gonna die anyways, don't you think it makes more sense for them to save some face and take it in their own hands? I mean, I guess. We're not pro-suicide on this channel. For these guys, we gave them a choice. Kill yourself or drink the Shogun's concoction. This is really funny too, because I've been watching somebody stream Persona 3, love Persona 3, but it's just like absurd how many times they bring the guns up to their heads to summon their persona. Like, the amount of guns to heads you see in that game is like an absurd number. It's like too many. Like, it's to a number that it should never be. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's stylish and cool, I guess, but it's also just like, what are we doing? You get it. Don't you feel bad for them? I couldn't think of anything to say. What sort of choice was that? Death by your own hand or madness and death by someone else's? The men that I'd encountered that winter night had their last thoughts as men been hope they might survive the madness? It sounded horrible. Something that makes you strong and hard to kill should be really great, right? In actuality, though, they ended up being a piece of cake. We could easily kill them all. In a moment, I was taken back to the fateful night when Okita dispatched the warriors with white hair without any effort. I wonder what's going to happen to Sanin. I was worried too. Was Sanin okay? Would he change? My stomach was twisting itself into knots. That was not where I was expecting it to go, but I'm locked in. And so, the long night broke. The captains of the Shinsengumi gathered in the common room. Okay, everyone, don't worry. The hardest part for him is over. The room collectively breathed a sigh of relief. So, how is Sanin? He's still asleep. Looks pretty peaceful. So, has Sanin gone crazy like the others? Inoue simply shook his head. We won't know for sure until he wakes up. For now, he looks just like he always has. You mean hot? Suddenly then, the door slid open. Good morning, everyone! How's everyone doing? Ito is cute. They're probably going to end up being evil because that seems where they're leading with this, but, you know, I'll always appreciate you. Aw, shit, Ito. They hate him! What did he ever do to anybody? Except be a cutie pie. That wasn't the warm welcome I expected. My, you all look rather glum. Well, isn't it obvious that it's because we have to see your face in the morning? I could say the same thing to you. I hate him. I hate him so much. My Nagakura darling, you're such a jokester. Lol, that's funny. Ito dismissed Nagakura's snide remark and he turned to face the standing warriors. Come now, why the long faces, everyone? It has to do with the happenings of last night, I presume? No. Desperately, Kondo's eyes flew around the room as if looking for someone to offer an excuse. Sano, make something up! What, me? Well, you see, yesterday- he's not very good at this. Hirana's really kind of dumb. You're a miserable actor, keep your mouth shut! Eat his ass up. How about you leave the explaining to someone who can string two words together, Okita turned to Saito expectantly and the latter spoke up at once. As you may have heard, Deputy Commander Ito, an incident occurred last night at headquarters. My, an incident, you say? This is the first I'm hearing of it. Yes, however, we have yet to assume a real grasp on the situation. An attempt to make an explanation now is a risk of confusion from inaccurate information. I love Saito so much. He's so important to me. He's best boy by far right now. If you wish, I would be happy to provide you with a more detailed report this afternoon. I see, I understand. I shall look forward to receiving the details this evening. Very well then. Good day. Yeah, Ito, you know more than we do, probably. Ito brandished another strange smile, stood, nodded, and left the room promptly. Seems like he let us off easy. What do you mean? Ito has his wits about him. We shouldn't have let him see all of us together. The only man missing was Sanin, and it won't take Ito long to realize something's happened to him. Oh. Ito had likely guessed at what took place, but decided not to press the issue. I had looked up just in time to see Sanin shuffle through the door. Sanin! Oh my god! Your hair's not white anymore. Hey, come on guys, don't stare at me like I'm some kind of monster. Sanin, you sure you should be up and about? I'm only a little drained, sore, a side effect of my new condition, I suppose. Those who've taken the drought often find activity during daylight hours to be especially taxing. He really is a vampire. Sanin looked a little pale, but it didn't look too difficult for him to stand and speak. But if it's hard for him to move during the day, I'm no longer a human being. Those words sunk our hearts heavily. Even the captains fell silent to this solemn admission. Motherfucker survives the evil juice. He's now a Grey Warden. Oh, Sonnen, who cares what you are? You're alive. That's good enough for me. Aw. Kondo stood and grabbed Sonnen's shoulders tightly, his expression bright and endearing. Tears nearly welled. Aw, he's so sweet. So how's your arm? Has it healed? I haven't fully recovered yet, so I would withhold any final judgment, but... He lifted his left arm, the arm that before had hung limp at his side, and he flexed his hand. It didn't look any different than before his injury. It seems to have been healed. At the very least, it is no longer a hindrance. Thank goodness. In spite of the chaos from last night, his wish to use his arm once more came true. But at what cost? However, you can't go out in the sun though, right? Will you still be able to fight with us? His voice was calm, almost careless. I have an idea. Tell everyone I died. He's gonna... What the fuck? He's gonna show... He's gonna fucking... Sean McMahon or whatever his fucking name is. He's just like... What? So he is a vampire. For now, I will serve in the court to remind them and us that success is possible. Sonnet, have you lost your mind? Do you know what you're saying? Of course I do. Do you, Nagakura? The Shogun had ordered us to keep this thing a secret. If I, die, the Shogun's secret remains so. Besides, consider the possibilities of the side effects being managed or even removed. What reason do we have not to use it? They seemed to be against Sonnen's idea, though no one said anything. Who would want to consign a friend to a life of secrecy, live in the shadows? But we were given this task by the Shogun himself. I suppose this is our only choice. Well, this is what you asked for, Sonnen, and besides, you're not the type to listen either. You know me well, don't you? You could have been more accurate. You couldn't have been more accurate. Hijitaka scoffed at Sonnen's suggestion, and bitterness frothed from his words. This means moving to a new location isn't something we can put off any longer. If we're going to hide Sonnen from Ito and his men, we need more space. This place won't cut it. I agree. If we intend to begin research again, then a move is even more urgent. Alright, everyone. Even though none of you got much sleep, we need to attend to business. Yukimura, you go back to your room. I know you didn't sleep much. Okay, understood. Please excuse me. It's okay, I didn't want to hear the rest anyway. I bowed to everyone and left the common room. I'm happy that Sonnen was safe, but a whole flurry of new concerns arose. Learning of my father's horrible work, what will become of me? Will I be safe? Such thoughts buzzed heavily in my head as I walked back to my room. Next time, I'm just kidding. we still got another hour, dog. We're good. Are we in chapter 4? No. Damn it. I mean, we got to chapter 3 not that long ago, but still. June, 1865. Our emperor had passed, and our year moved from the 2nd of Ganji to the 1st of Ko. It was 3 months since we'd moved the headquarters to Nishi Hongwanji. There's a lot more room, but more room meant, well, further to walk. True. I'd walk through it almost every day for weeks, and I was finally beginning to learn my way around. As I turned a corner near the back of the compound, I caught sight of someone sitting in the shadows. There you are, Sonnen. Your food's ready. Oh, hello. Thank you. The snow disappeared, the cherry blossoms bloomed and fled, and now the swallows and the heat came. Sonnen and I exchanged a pair of smiles, and I held up my hands to let the breeze brush across them. It's really gotten warm lately. Yes, it has. Unfortunately, the increased sunshine has been more unpleasant for me than the heat. Really? I didn't think the sun was particularly strong that day, but Sonnen, who hid in the shadows and out of sight during the day, it must have been unbearable. Yeah, we know. The night he changed, Sonnen's hair turned white and his eyes were athirst for blood. But looking at his peaceful smile now made it hard to imagine such a night was real. If someone told me it was all a bad dream, I would have believed it. It wasn't a dream, though, and now Sonnen spends his days hiding from the sunlight and from others. For just a moment, the sun lit on Sonnen's hair. Ah! I don't know if it was a trick of the light or simply my mind being full. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. The white hair with the red eyes looks a little silly. Just a little. Like, I don't want to, like, shit on it, okay? Like, I get what it's going for, but whatever happens to me just looks ridiculous. That is not a peaceful smile. He's devious. He's plotting something. No, it absolutely looks silly. I don't know if it was a trick of the light or something in my mind being foolish, but in that moment, his hair was a brilliant white. Is something the matter? You look as though you've seen a ghost, which I hardly feel is polite. Hey, hey! You're the one looking weird, not me. Oh, no, nothing at all. He looks perfectly normal now, of course. Surely, I thought, I must have simply imagined it. Even if I had, there was no denying that he was the same man who went mad with bloodlust. It doesn't suit him. Yeah, I like the greenish, brownish swampiness that he has already. The fear of the night cast a shadow over my heart. It was unnerving. Heisuke and I made our way through the crowded, as usual, streets of Kyoto at a brisk pace. You know, I haven't gone out on patrol with you in quite a while, Heisuke. Huh? Oh yeah, I guess not. Ito had me pretty busy. So, how was it while I was gone? Shin and Sano didn't bug you while I was gone, did they? Aw, no, they're fine. Everything was fine and they were kind to me. Ah, that's good. Heisuke's so sweet. Put him in my pocket. So, any updates on your dad? Did you find any leads? Not at all. Ah, I see. I stopped by your old place in Ito with the information he gave me, but, well, there were no signs of anyone returning. Seriously, I wonder where he went. That's spooky too. I cannot lie. I love him. I loved him even the first time that I played. The somberness of Heisuke's expression started to rub off on me. Now I was depressed. Oh, thank you for taking the time to look anyway. There's nothing to thank me for. I mean, the fact you're not allowed to come and go as you please is completely our fault. Heisuke? Heisuke stopped himself mid-sentence, which was jarring. Ever since he returned from Ito, he looked glum. Hey, Heisuke? How about you? It's been a while since you were in Kyoto. Does it seem different from Ito? Well, I sort of feel like the town has changed. So have the people. I wonder what was going through his head. Did something happen to him in Ito? His sudden change of character confused me. Heisuke's head jerked up slightly, and he looked across the street. He stood on his toes and waved. Hey, Soji! Find anything over there? I'm distracting. Nope, everything's normal. Okita was out of patrol as well, although his route took him through a different part of the city. Well, normal for now. At least I'm sure things will pick up once the Shogun gets here. The Shogun's coming to visit Kyoto? Yep, it's got Kondo all worked up too. Kondo truly respects Shogun Imochi. Ah, I see. I hope it turns out well. Not another fucking character. I can't do this. Right, Heisuke? Oh yeah, I bet he is. Huh? Something had really gotten into him. I glanced at Okita to see if he continued anything. Oh, is that plot cough? Are you gonna die? Okita, are you alright? I'm fine. I think it just caught a cold or something. Oh. Oh no. He's got a fever. Oh, I see. Well, please take care of yourself. I have medicine to treat colds, so I'll give you some when we return. Oh yeah, thanks. I guess having you around comes in handy at times. I'm gonna punch you in the throat. What's the matter? Okita's eyes looked past me, and suddenly something caught his attention to the side. Whoa, what do you mean, no? What is that? Wait, I thought that was us. I thought that was us. That's why I was so confused. I was like, who's grabbing us? Where was the build up here? This is just a girl that looks a lot like us. Stop it, let go of me. We're patriots fighting every day to kick those damn foreigners out of our country. You owe us a little booze, or maybe even— oh no. Somebody kill these men now. Now. Guards seize them. Across the streets, a clump of perhaps 3 or 4 men were harassing a young girl. Okita, Heisuke, yeah, go! I see them, stay here. But it appeared that Okita got to them first. Finally, he makes himself useful. Well, guess patriots aren't what they used to be with men like you throwing the title around. The usual crowd shuffled away from Okita and the men as quickly as they could. No one wanted to be near the sight of an unsheathed blade. The Ronin's eyes found Okita's jacket and the men stiffened. You're one of those Shinsengumi fellas, ain't you? You must be the brains. So tell me, Chief, what's it gonna be? His lips curled into a predatory smile as his hand gripped his sword. There was no mirth in that rictus grin, and the Ronin's face grew much paler. Their moods were not totally deflated yet, as their ringleader made one more attempt. God damn it, get out of here, you brown-nosing son of a bitch. Shut up. If you really want to live, maybe you should follow your own advice. Yeah! Get him! The sight of 2 Shinsengumi blue jackets standing shoulder to shoulder was enough to deter the men. Screw you, guys! The last of the color drained from their faces, and they turned tail and run. Ugh, if they're gonna just run away at the sight of us, then they never should have picked a fight with us in the first place. You aren't gonna go after them? Arrest them? And charged him with which crime exactly? Harassment? What do you mean? That's a fucking crime. The hell? Didn't figure you for the Iron Fist, or it's literally your fucking job. Go do your job. You have one job. I didn't really mean it like that. Thank you for saving me. You're welcome, beautiful. My name is Kaoru Nagumo. I watched as the girl gave Okita a quick bow. She was so refined, so ladylike, even dressed like a girl. I doubted I could ever be as elegant as her. Shut the fuck up! Shut up! I'd only just begun to feel sorry for myself when suddenly there was a man right in my fucking face. I felt a hand on my arm. Whoa, Okita. Calm down, kid. Come here and stand next to her. Oh god, we do look similar! I was not imagining that. I was like, this is us. Like, is this not us? Is this our doppelganger? Do we have a twin? Do we just have a twin? We could. Fuck it. Our dad's been holding a bunch of other secrets. He shoved me next to the girl we just rescued, then stepped back to stroke his chin thoughtfully. Okita? I glanced nervously towards the girl. I mean, she looks a little bit older, and attempted to smile kindly under the circumstances. The smile she gave me in return was beautiful, but there was something about it that seemed odd. She seems familiar, almost like looking into a mirror. Just as I thought, they look just like each other. We look alike? Yeah, bitch! That's when I finally realized she was identical to whom I saw in the mirror. Are they related? I don't know. Really? I don't think they look alike at all. Heisuke's like, one's got makeup on. No, they're practically identical. Dress the kid up like a girl and you wouldn't be able to tell them apart. Okita, she seems troubled. Oh, I had to say something, but what? Perhaps she saw through my confusion, or perhaps it was something else. I wish to thank you properly, but I'm afraid you have caught me in the middle of an important errand which I must attend to. Please forgive my rudeness. I hope I will be able to repay you soon. Okita of the Shinsengumi? With that, the girl who called herself Kaoru disappeared into the crowds of Kyoto, although the uneasiness created by her presence remained. Hey, looks like she's got the hots for you, Soji. Oh, Heisuke, is that really what you think? You've got a long way to go before you're at Sano's level. What the hell's that supposed to mean? Their back and forth continued, but my mind was elsewhere. Last night's rain left a number of puddles on the road, and when I looked into them, I saw a strange girl who looked just like me. Kaoru, huh? Wind caught the surface of the puddle, sending a flurry of ripples across it. Come on, let's get moving! Alright, I'm coming! I turned and ran towards Heisuke and Okita, already on their way back to headquarters. I wonder if his cold is going to be relevant or not, or that's just something they said to make conversation. Not that I care or anything. The temple was much larger than the compound in Mibu. As advertised, the whole Shinsengumi could gather in the common room with space to spare. Also, I saw that you said that you liked one of the backgrounds. I do think all the backgrounds in this game are very pretty. As Kondo spoke, I mean, I think they're just either real pictures with a filter on them, or I don't know, but it looks good. I don't mind it. As Kondo spoke, his voice echoed grandly throughout the hall. Standing before Kondo were the many proud men under his leadership with glowing expressions. By now, I imagine you have all heard that Imochi Togawa, the 14th shogun of the Tokugawa shogunate, will be visiting our city in Kyoto. The Shinsengumi have been asked to guard him as he passes through the city on his way to Nijo Castle. What? The Shinsengumi guard the shogun? Wow, that's one big promotion. Does it come with a pay raise? Too hard for them to ignore us after Akita and Hamaguri, huh? Our work's finally paying off. Guess you could say the fate of the country will be resting on our swords, huh? That's exactly it. You guys better be ready for it. Guarding the shogun. That is one big role. Indeed, if only Sanin was alive, he would have been so happy. How truly dreadful to have just lost such an ally. He's not buying it. Ito wiped crocodile tears from his eyes. Oh, with the silk handkerchief. Ito and his followers were told Sanin died. And yes, we know. In fact, the entire incident surrounding his transformation had been covered up. Only a few of the men of the Shinsengumi knew the truth. And what, is he just sleeping in Hijikata's room or something under his fucking bed? Ito, I think performing the job given to us by the Shogun is what Sanin would have wanted. Yes, I understand. This is an excellent opportunity for us to thrust our name into the forefront of the masses. He sleeps on the ceiling like a bat. Because he's a vampire. Things are gonna get pretty hectic soon. Wasn't he just sitting out in the courtyard like a couple scenes ago? How is he pretending? What if somebody just walked out there? Would they not see his ass? What the hell? We ought to get our assignments hashed out. To begin, I'd like Toshi, he literally was, Soji and myself to... Sorry, Kondo, but you think maybe Soji can sit this one out? Why is that? Because he's got a cold! Supposedly, his cold hasn't recovered. I've repeatedly told him to take care of himself. What? Soji, is that true? Are you alright? The demon's just being a mother hen. Sir, I think I'm just fine. I was gonna say that earlier, that Hijikata gives mother hen, and I love that. I love those types of characters. He's so mom-coded. I love it so much. Don't give me that crap. You just about coughed up a lung earlier. He cares. Is that your excuse to sell me some meds? No matter what, I won't buy Ishida medicinal powder. That's not what I'm trying to do. Just shut up and follow my orders. He's so cute. He just cares a lot. Like, anytime anybody like talks shit about his friends, he's like, fuck you, dude, I'll kill you. He gets so mad. Love that for him. What a sweetie. I gave Okita some pretty strong medicine, but not too long ago. I wonder if that didn't work. Or maybe he doesn't have a cold, but rather he's inhaling dust from the lack of cleaning here? Yes, that's gotta be it. Then suddenly, someone raised his hand. What's the matter, Heisuke? Something on your mind? Even though getting sick from dust is something I've experienced last year rather, and it's not really anything to play with. You get really sick if you're not careful, so maybe I can buy into it a little bit more than I would have otherwise. What's the matter, Heisuke? Something on your mind? Kondo, I'm not feeling so great either. Uh-oh. You too, Heisuke? You better take care of yourself. This is our time to shine. I was hoping to have all of us here to greet the Shogun. Yeah, sorry. Oh no, your health comes first, always. Aww. I'm sure you'll have another chance. I just have to make sure you get to do something spectacular. Wait, do you want a spoiler? Sure. If it's not a big one. Kondo and Hijikata continue to discuss their formation, but I'm on the wiki. Oh gosh. Yeah, you can tell me something. Suddenly, Hijikata turned to me. That motherfucker has tuberculosis! Oh my god! Oh no! He got Doc Holiday'd. Hijikata turned to me. Alright, what are you gonna do? That's crazy. That's a crazy fucking plot point just introduced. Willy-nilly. Alright, what are you gonna do? What? Don't give me that. I'm asking if you're coming with us or not. Right? Jesus Christ. Wait, Heisuke and Okita or just Okita? Because it's just Okita. It was nice knowing you, my dude. I guess you could bunk with Sonnen in the afterlife. JK. I don't know. I could go to... Of course, we certainly won't mind. After all, you're practically one of us. If you want, I'd love to have you come. Could I? Could I really go? I hesitated for a moment, confused, and Okita laughed. Why don't you go? It doesn't seem too dangerous either. Yeah, the Choshu domain can't come in or out of Kyoto, so I'm sure there will be no fights. How come it's these two that always end up getting injured or sick or something? What the fuck? Kind of a weird, like, pair to always do that too. I don't know. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Yeah, no, I'm going. Anytime they give me a chance to go somewhere, I'm going. Maybe next time I'll just be a homebody. I'm just a little concerned about a person like me, who's not a warrior coming along, but I was feeling emotionally strained with no leads of my father turning up on rounds. I'll go. Alright then. I figured we'd put you in charge of running errands as a messenger. Ooh, yay! Gee! Thanks! I'm using the hell out of you, so brace yourself. Oh, don't say that. Okay, I went like two directions with that. I'm sorry. I was conflicted, okay? In the early days of the Tokugawa shogunate, Nijo Castle was a place for the shogun to stay on his way to the capital. It's been a while since a shogun actually stayed in it, though. We met the shogun on the road and began our escort about 30 minutes earlier and arrived at the castle relatively recently. By now, I imagine Kondo, Nakagura, Inoue, and the men were greeting the officials. By the way, when Inoue kept being introduced as like a warrior, I was really surprised. I thought he was just like the butler or something. Where is John Green? He would have saved him TV. I mean, we don't know if he's gonna just die. I mean, he might. Well, I've got a job to do, so it was my job to tell soldiers when to change shifts and to carry messages back and forth. I mean, that's not the worst job, to be honest. A glorified errand girl. We're the Paul Revere. In other words, I don't see myself as being useful, though, I think. Girl, do you think of yourself at all, like, in a high manner? Like, I don't think she's complimented herself not once. Every day, every other second, it's like, I actually suck, I'm not pretty, I'm not smart, I'm definitely not useful, I can't even make tea right. It's like, Give yourself a little bit of credit, please. I've come with a message. What, you're the messenger? This isn't a playground, you know. Shut the fuck up, Mickey. I'll kick you. Well, I'm not here to play. Huh, is that so? Then what would someone like you, who can't use a sword, do for anyone? I can use a sword, bitch! I've come to do what I can do. Would you mind if we stop playing games? Yeah, since it's not a playground. Speak. I was going to. The chief is currently going around, paying his respects to the people in the castle. Everyone else continue with the guard. Message received. Huh? That's it? It's that simple? What's up with your dumb face? Surprised I listened to your message? What's up with your dumb face? The fuck? Oh, well no, a job is a job. I don't plan on making it personal. Why are you being so sassy with me? What do I fucking do? Alright, you deliver your message. Get out of here. I would kick dust into his eyes. Mickey and I never really got on the best terms, but maybe he's a responsible person. Girl, you are giving him too much credit. He's a little bitch. Why was he freaking the fuck out over nothing? Don't shoot the messenger. We're just the messenger. That's just our only job. After he shooed me away, I continued attending to my duties as a messenger. And getting bitched out every 2 seconds about it. In the surrounding of Nijo Castle, I can see the warrior. I would not live. I would not survive a day in, like, the feudal era, like, in historical settings. I'd be dead before you could even say my name. I could see the warriors wearing white uniforms, which was different than the afternoon uniform. They don't seem too nervous, but I guess it makes sense. Some of the imperial nationalist extremists were driven out of Kyoto and many warriors fled. Also, this Sanin pretending he's dead thing makes no sense either. So what, he's just not gonna fight now that his arm's all, like, better? And he's just gonna, like, stand to the side until, like, they need him, and then they need him, and then oh my god, you're alive, wow. What is the plan here? Oh, shit. A sudden chill ran down the length of my spine. I froze. Ah! I knew the feeling. A length of cold steel sinking entry into your flesh, eyes shining with the lust for blood and violence. Since I had begun living with the Shinsengumi, I felt it more than once. Bloodlust. My eyes were drawn to the roof, where no one would think to look. A large wall cast a shadow, shielding a section of the room from the moonlight. There they stood. Uh-oh. Oh shit, guy on the left's a bad guy. And then blue over there. You. So you've noticed us, not too slow then. Chikage is his name. Kazuma. They look very distinctive, unlike any soldiers I'd seen before, but 3 set even more. The guy on the left we saw earlier in the chapter, and I was like, who the fuck is this ugly guy? With 3 sets of piercing eyes scattered my thoughts, making it hard to think. I had recognized them, now I had to put names to faces. Chikage Kazuma. Kyuju Amagiri. And the other one, Kyo Shiranui. There you go. Where are the women? There was one in this entire game, and she looks like us, so she's basically the same person. They were connected to both the Satsuma and the Choshu, and they'd made an effort to impede the Shinsengumi at Ikeda, and again at Hamagiri. Why are you here? And you mean, how did we get here, right? Yeah. Well, the answer is simple. Well, then say it. Man-made obstacles like these are shit to a demon. Damn. He ate with that. Why is there white men? They're a white man. I don't know. We are here for a specific purpose. That purpose is you, Chizuru Nakamura. We are here for you. Oh, okay. What? My heart was pounding so hard it could burst. Why do these men know my name? I don't understand. A demon? What do you mean? And what are you here for? No. You must be joking. How can you ask what a demon is? Perhaps you're the one joking here. He stepped forward, cloaked in shadows. Matt Damon asked. When Amagiri spoke, he was calm and peaceful, as if he were reasoning with a frightened child. Do your injuries heal quickly? No. I held my breath. He knows. I'm Wolverine. Do you heal from injuries faster than any human could? Maybe. How does he know my secret? I've never revealed it to anyone before. Our dad ratted us out. Well, is she a demon? Yo, that'd be so dope if we were. Words struggled to come to mind, and just as I was about to deny their accusations. What the hell? Maybe it'll be quicker if we just give her a demonstration. Shinsengumi gun glistened eerily. Oh no, he's gonna shoot us. Shiranui, do you really intend on injuring such a rare female demon? We're a demon! Oh my gosh! Best game! Hey, don't tell me what to do. Kid's being stubborn, so what can I do? After Kazuma glared at Shiranui, his eyes drifted towards the Kodachi on my hip again. You don't need words. Her family name is a demon, and she carries the demon of the east is Kodachi. This is enough proof. My family name? What was wrong with Yukimura? I didn't understand what he was saying, and the cold sweat started inching down my spine. Then again, it isn't as though we need your permission to kidnap you. True! And he's just like, actually, female demons are rare. Now come with me. Okay. His hand stretched out with the darkness, pale and grasping like the tentacle of some hideous subterranean monster. Damn, she called him hideous. Wait, who's it gonna be? Hijikata! Saito! Yeah! Whoa there, pal. Trying to pick up chicks in a back alley? That's not creepy at all. That's a funny line. I like that. Good job, Harada. You did it. You again. The culture and the nose of a dog, I see. One could say the same of you. Damn. He really said, no you. Harada, Saito! My legs almost collapsed as if, I think this is new music. As if the now shattered tension was the only thing keeping me standing. I teetered backwards, my balance momentarily lost. A strong, sinewy hand caught me and pulled me back, its grip hard as steel. Stay back, okay. I'm good at that. Hijikata. One hand guided me around behind me, even as the other drew a sword. I figured you were here for the Shogun's head. What do you want from a kid? I've little interest in you or the Shogun right now. The matter at hand concerns only us demons. Demons? His eyes narrowed. Hijikata seemed perplexed by Kazuma's statement, as if contemplating the possibility of its truth. Huh, haven't seen these punks since Hamiguri. I guess we're fated, huh? Doesn't make me particularly happy. Why does this motherfucker remind me of Envy from Full Metal Alchemist? True, though I feel little at this reunion. So you're gonna be in our way then? Yeah, probably. The tension was so thick in the air that I could scarcely breathe. They were a powder keg. Okay, so if we would have gone with not Saito, if we would have gone with fuck, I forgot his name. Hagure, the other guy. We would have seen the blue-haired guy. Whatever. Somebody who knows what I'm talking about knows what I'm talking about. They were a powder keg ready to explode. Even the slightest movement could set them off. It wasn't like I could do much, but I still wanted to help them, so I grabbed my sword. Don't worry about the commander and the captains. Yamazaki, when did you... I've been ordered to return you to headquarters. Then you're telling me to run away? Exactly. Even if you were here, there would be nothing you could do. I mean, he may be right, but... Oh shit. We could stay? We're gonna stay. Our baby's here. I'm gonna stay here. Yukimura, you don't understand. What do you hope to accomplish by remaining here? I know that staying here might not be the smartest idea, but I'm great at making horrible decisions. I need to save, because I didn't save. There we go. They called me a demon and told me to come with them. I still don't know what they meant. I needed to know the truth. You have a reason to stay then, and conviction. I can admire that. Unfortunately, I have my orders. Damn. Just as you must remain true to what you believe is right, so must I. What? Damn, alright. Yamazaki reached for my arm, ready to take me with him by force, but... Oh no, he's got a gun! He's got a gun! The gun Shiranui held was pointed towards Yamazaki. Why does he got a fucking Glock, dog? Hold on there, buddy. The princess... It's a revolver. I don't know. The princess says she wants to stay, so she stays. You gotta learn to let a girl go. Oh god. I mean, normally he'd be right. Harada. Yeah, Harada. I don't know how you say it. If you would have saw him, then you would have saw the gun guy earlier, right? With his spear, Harada tried to pierce... I do like spears as a weapon. I think spears as a weapon are the coolest weapon a person can have. So, extra points to Harada this chapter and the heart, but Shiranui easily dodged his strike. Sigh, there are times when quick decisions are important, but Shiranui's short temper can be problematic. Quite, but you seem uninterested in stopping him. Saito and Amagiri maneuvered nearly into striking distance of one another. Saito drew a sword and attempted to strike at Amagiri. Not so easy. Amagiri saw through his movements instantly and dodged the incoming blade. Damn it, who the hell are these guys? Hijikata screams, his voice filled with frustration. I cried for backup. Didn't move, reached for my sword. Dog, if we have any chance to reach for our sword, we're doing it. Okay, I say as I I'm like, oh, I get to save over my old ass save. Goodbye. We're gonna reach for our sword. I wrapped my fingers around the hilt of my Kodachi and looked at Kazuma. Both Shiranui and Amagiri displayed superhuman levels of skill, sometimes that awestruck me. I didn't think my swordsmanship could be of any help to anyone, but to distract them for even a fraction of a second, I had to take my chance. Refrain from drawing— No, we're doing it! I get out of here, you idiot. He'll tear you apart. Hijikata screamed at me, making me second-guess myself, and I sheathed my sword. Yamazaki, keep her out of this. Don't let her get any closer. You mistake me for a weak shit like you. I give you the honor of fighting me and you chatter. Very well then, I'll show you who is truly in control so you can shut your mouth for good. Keep telling yourself that. I still owe you for taking out my men during the Hamaguri rebellion. Their rivalry was intense. Yeah, I can see that. One could nearly see the sparks in their glares, a bloodlust whose tension made it nearly impossible to breathe. I don't keep track of each and every insect I squash. That's so? I'll be sure to refresh your memory. I'll send you to hell so you can apologize to them in person. Claiming that your guys are in hell? Okay, whatever. One more step. They moved so quickly that in the blink of an eye, I missed Hijikata furiously clashed with Kazuma's blade. Ah! The two swords ground against one another, screaming in protest. Hijikata swung with the fullness of his strength, but Kazuma merely parried with an unfazed expression. The force of the blades meeting sent a small breeze that swayed his bangs. You're not a human, are you? Just what the hell are you? Haven't I made it clear that I am of the demon clan? Not only am I, or we, but so is she. Chizuru is too much for you. We've come to take her off your hands. The hell you say? Cling, cling. Their blades shuddered too quickly for my eyes to follow. All I could catch was the flickering of the moonlight on them, sparks flashing as they met. They leapt at each other and met for a moment. The two men circled, then leapt forward again. Oh god, I'm getting dizzy. You know, epilepsy warning, everyone. The clipped strands of Kazuma's hair drifted away on a cool evening breeze. I see. There were no signs of fear on his face. Instead, I saw what I thought was perhaps the thinnest flicker of respect. He lowered his sword. What the hell is this? Both men stepped back, their fight clearly finished. Further fighting serves no purpose. We will do nothing more than attract unwanted attention. They're gonna Team Rocket blast off again. Were you talking to me? Come on, I know when to leave a party. That one doesn't know when to stop. Shiranui looked towards Kazuma as he spoke. Yes, our suspicions have been confirmed. We've no need to stay. This time we only came to verify the truth. Do you really believe we'll simply allow you to walk away? Then call your men. You three may survive, but how many of your soldiers will be slaughtered before we escape? Would you spend their lives so easily? Kazuma and his companions were no doubt powerful. His words held arrogance. He knew he spoke truth. They left silently, fading into the darkness, but as he did, Kazuma spoke to me one last time, his red eyes piercing me as they glared. I will return for you, soon! Okay, bye! He was far out of the arm's reach, but his words nearly brushed against my cheek, cold and threatening. A shiver ran up my spine. I crumbled to the floor. Whoa, are you alright, Chizuru? I'm fine. You really suck at lying, you know that? You look really pale. Sit there and rest for a while. If you can't walk, I'll carry you. Aw, thank you. For a while, Hijikata stared deeply and harshly towards the darkness. Kid, you got any idea why they're after you? I hesitated. I had said I was one of them. Kazuma had invited me to go with them. Had he been telling the truth? I didn't know. I'm not sure. There was really nothing more I could say. Alright, cool. Word of this incident spread the ranks of the Shinsengumi quickly in another form. Hey, I heard there was an intruder, so what the hell were the captains doing? An intruder? I haven't heard anything. Are you sure that information is true? So what, you're saying I'm lying? Yeah! I didn't say you were lying, but maybe you misunderstood something? Maybe you're a fucking idiot? it really happened. I would be the first to know since I wasn't in the no. Then it must be fake information. Yeah, okay. Bro's on Facebook and he's just like, I understand all of this is misinformation. Is that so? But if it was true, you're gonna pay for it. Supposedly, they stormed to Hijikatsu's room, but he told them the incident of the intruder was a misunderstanding. The only people that were notified of Kazuma's infiltration were only a handful of captains. So in the eyes of the public, the infiltration of Niju Castle didn't happen. What the hell? Why? Politics. Since then, once the rest of the men returned, there was a meeting amongst the captains. The subject of that meeting was the three men at Nijo Castle, Chikage Kazuma, Kyuju Amagiri, and Kyo Shiranui. Yeah, they called themselves demons, and their previous encounters with the Shinsengumi suggested they were somehow involved with the Satsuma and Choshu. The Satsuma were the most powerful domain, the opposition domain, and the Choshu are publicly expressive of their dissent towards the shogunate. The Choshu are essentially enemies of the court. I don't know how the three men are supposedly affiliated with the domains, but it was abundantly clear they are not to be dealt with carelessly. There was another problem, however. Why had they come for me? They already said, because you're a demon. They said I was one of them, and they knew about my family name and my Kodachi. But how? My name is Chizuru Yukamura. Yeah, I know. I am the daughter of my father and my mother. Yep. I am a normal girl, nothing out of the ordinary. But who am I? Who knows? Wattpad MC asks affectionately. Are we in chapter 4 now? Probably not. I think they would have showed it already. June 1864. The compound was alive with noise and movement. I passed several soldiers in the halls, each one of them excited about something. What was going on? This is unconscionable. Never in all my... Wait, what happened? Did you see Sanin alive in the courtyard? Ito, is something wrong? Yes, I'd say everything is wrong. Why should I be made to bear my skin in the same room as those savages? Wait, what happened? Ito's explanation was useless. I was completely confused. Is there something going on today? Ito did his best to collect himself, shakily adjusting his hair and clothing before he spoke. Someone claiming to be a doctor whom Kondo met on his visit to the shogun has arrived. He is conducting physical examinations. With a disdainful sniff, he glared pointedly across the hall towards the area he just left. The men were getting physical checkups, that much I knew, given my particular situation. I'd been exempt by the captains, who also gave me special instructions to stay away. That hairless bloodster, that doctor. He demanded I remove my clothes in front of everyone. When I refused, as any decent man would, he tried to remove them himself by force. Okay, that's fucked up. And the rest of them just stood there. What sort of uncultured savages are they? True, savages seemed a bit strong. No, I don't think so. At any rate, perhaps I should go see just what the physical entailed. I was a doctor's daughter, after all. What's this doctor's name? I believe he called himself Ryojun Matsumoto. What? Wait, Dr. Matsumoto? What's up with the reaction? Did you know him? When I first came to Kyoto, my plan was to find Dr. Matsumoto. My father told me that I could rely on that man if I ever needed anything. Unfortunately, he was away on business when I arrived, and after that, I'm gonna go watch the physical exams. There was no time to waste. Oh my, so you want to see those? You want to see those savages? What peculiar taste. Is this it? I could hear loud voices from inside. Oh, the scene. Yeah, you're probably gonna see a bunch of naked dudes, dog. Alright, next. Oh, goodness. At last, my turn. Check this out, doctor. What is that necklace, dog? What do you think? You're looking at the amazing product of years of training. Your body's fine, Chin. I think it's your head that the doctor ought to be taking a look at. Got him. What's that? You say you want me to beat the daylights out of you? No, that's not what he said. You're fine. Now, get next. Whoa, hold on there, Doc. You gotta get a good look at this. No, you're quite fine. Healthy as a horse, and I've seen quite enough, thank you. Aw, look at little Saito. It's a baby. If you're holding up the line, Shipachi, get moving, okay? I'm just saying, I don't really think you've had a time to fully examine. Don't you want to order a slice of this beefcake? I got 2 meaty servings at a plate right here. Oh my god, wait. I look away for 2 seconds. Why is everyone shirtless? They're doing physical exams, apparently. We just barged in on it because the doctor is somebody we know. A medical examination is for finding problems, not showing off. Now move! It wasn't difficult to see why Ito was desperate to escape. I couldn't imagine him as part of such a display. Goodness gracious. What should I do? I feel like it's rude to intrude. Nipples! Yukimura, what are you doing here? Is something the matter? Oh, Yamazaki, hello. I heard that Dr. Matsumoto was here? Yamazaki didn't look like he was in the mood to tolerate my snooping, so he went to the point. They never have nipples. That's true. That's true. That is a true fact. I take it you aim to speak with him, huh? I haven't been briefed on everything regarding your situation. I think I know what you're doing. However, the physicals are taking some time. Will you leave this to me? What should I do? No, I'll take care of it. I want to say that. But they're going to be like, oh, that's cool that you want to take your own agency, but actually, I'm just going to do it for you. Nah, I'll take care of it. Oh, don't worry. It's my own business. I'll take care of it. I see. In that case, I'll help you if you need anything else. Please do not hesitate to find me. Okay, thank you so much. Oh, they actually let us. What the hell? Yamazaki and I parted ways, and I walked towards the examination room where the doctor worked. You need to take care of your digestive system here. Take this after every meal. Looks like I'm out of medicine. I waited outside for Dr. Matsumoto until he stepped out of the examination room. Excuse me. Yes? He looked at me for a moment, his eyes narrowed in curiosity. I need to fetch some more medicine, so maybe it's a good time for a break. Can you give me a hand? Oh, yeah, of course. What luck? He probably knows who you are, I guess. Dr. Matsumoto. Doctor, hello, Yukimura. Oh, hi, Kondo. I see you found her already. Yes, thanks to you. What? I was utterly lost. Dr. Matsumoto laid a gentle hand on my shoulder. Chizuru, I came here to see you. Kondo told me that Kodo's daughter was staying with the Shinsengumi. Oh, I see. I knew Kodo and Matsumoto were acquaintances, so I thought perhaps Matsumoto might be able to give us a clue to his friend's whereabouts. I looked him up as soon as he returned to Kyoto. The Shinsengumi had their own reasons for wanting my father found, but Dr. Matsumoto's appearance was still cause for joy. Thank you, both of you. They smiled. Dr. Matsumoto then explained he had just barely missed me when he left for Ito as I came to Kyoto. He had received all my letters, but once he finally returned, he had no idea where I was, and consequently couldn't find me. I'm sorry that I missed you. You must have had a rough time of it. Is there anything you need? No, I'm doing all right. So, Dr. Matsumoto, about my father. His face took on a grim cast. Before he even spoke, I knew what his response would be. Unfortunately, I know no more about where Kodo might be than you do. I see. The defeated tone of my voice surprised me. I suppose on some level I believe Dr. Matsumoto had some miraculous revelation about my father. Foolish for me, of course, but that didn't make the truth any less devastating. Kondo simply nodded. I hear you've become involved with the treatment. You know what I mean, don't you? Kodo's experiments? Yes, I knew what he meant. The experiments my father conducted with some strange concoction that could make people go mad. Please tell me about it. I want to know everything about my father was doing. He nodded. Kodo's working with the Shinsengumi under orders from the Shogun to create what were called Furies. Furies are humans with night demonic strength and speed and phenomenal healing abilities. Furies. This term seemed so familiar, then I realized I'd overheard some of the men talking about it. Don't jinx him, Soji. It's gonna look bad if officers start joining the Furies. Oh, so Furies come from something you drink where any injuries could be cured? Yeah. The Furies that Heisuke spoke about are meant to be pitied. Damn. He really said Sonnen should be pitied. The substance that transforms normal men into these fairies is called the Water of Life. In China, they call it Sentan. In short, it grants immortality. Furies, Water of Life. It sounded more like something from a fairy tale rather than real life. But there was something in Dr. Matsumoto's tone of voice that said he was telling the truth. I've already heard about it makes you strong and hard to kill. But doesn't it cause so much pain that it makes most people go crazy? And even if you survive that, then even the smell of blood can make you go crazy again. Dr. Matsumoto nodded slowly, then pinched the bridge of his nose with thumb and forefinger. He looked very tired. So you know about that too. Yes. They were human, but not human. Perhaps they were almost entirely different now. I couldn't see how this water of life could never be used for good. Even if it had healed Sanen's arm, he suffered greatly in the process. Why? It sounded more like a moan than a question. My father would never want to ruin the life of another, but because of what he'd done, people suffered and even died. Why was my father doing this? But it wasn't just my father. I was sure no one involved expected such a terrible outcome. Perhaps that is why Kodo left. His conscience would no longer allow him to continue. But the Water of Life was an opportunity given to us by the Shogun to help strengthen the Shinsengumi. The doctor only shook his head. It was an experiment, and it has failed. You should put it behind you. I'm sure the Shogunate has abandoned it as well. Kondo frowned, perhaps unhappy that Dr. Matsumoto would question the Shogunate's original decision. You've seen what happened to the men if it was tested on Kondo. It cannot be allowed to continue. This experiment is inhuman, and you know it. Kondo gave a non-committal grunt and fell silent. I was sure Kondo knew just how dangerous it was to use the Water of Life, but the Shogunate had come to him with a request. Perhaps he couldn't refuse, even if he wanted to. Silence fell like a thick blanket. I understand that you are the Shogunate's designated doctor, but you are not one of us. An outsider has no right to object. Bitch, aren't you supposed to be dead? Anybody could just walk out right now and be like, oh, you're alive, what the hell? Sanen? His face was pale as moonlight, as if he was walking corpse. Is it okay for you to be up right now? Shouldn't you be resting, Sanen? You look at— Shouldn't you be dead? This man is so bad every time to be dead. Don't worry about me. He bowed quickly, his mouth as a compressed line, and turned to regard the doctor with a cool gaze. We use this treatment effectively and at our own discretion. It's dangerous and far too strong. Yeah, you literally had to get fucking Okita to come in there and stab you in the stomach, dog. We have continued Kodo's research. I am, as you can see, living proof, so to speak. As Sanen did indeed prove, it was possible to drink the Water of Life and retain your sanity. It just wasn't easy. Perhaps you're right. But that could also mean that you're forcing your body in ways the eyes can't see. I am perfectly healthy. Okay, then go walk. Just go walk normally then. Don't be hanging out in the courtyard under a tree. The blue juice for girls and the Water of Life, like, dude. I respectively disagree. With continued research and modification, we will have many more successes and fewer casualties. I think Sanen should transition. Do you plan on sacrificing more of your men in order to have more successes? Using your men to experiment with things that put them in danger? Come off as a disregard for life? It's a disgrace. The men who gave their lives are the foundation of our work. They did not die in vain. But... Alright, that's enough for both of you. Why don't we discuss this some other time? It was my private opinion that they were unlikely to agree, no matter what time they discussed the subject, but I felt it was polite to keep quiet. Very well. There seemed to be very little common ground between them, but both arguments had merit. I think she'd be less weird. Yeah. No, she'd just be more hot. You know what I mean? If you insist, Kondo. Sanen's face betrayed nothing of what he might be thinking, even when the corner of his mouth quirked up into a beginning of a smile. He bowed quietly and left as swiftly as he arrived. So, how did the exams go? She'd be hotter and I'd be more tolerant after this. Hot is like the counter to weird. Like, the weirder something is, you gotta just make it hotter to compensate. That's math. That's girl math. Ah, yes, about that. This shirt is a headache. What? Why is that? What do you mean, why? The amount of injured and sick warriors is nearly a third of your force. What? Impossible. It is not only possible, Kondo, it is the truth. What have you been doing to these poor men? Cuts, lacerations, bowel pain, this entire place is lousy. Well, lice for one. Seriously, I'm so embarrassed to hear this. I never would have imagined. First, you need to set aside a room dedicated to medical care. Sick men can be sent there. Second, you need to clean this place up. Otherwise, I won't be able to help you. Understood. I'll get to this instant. What is going on? What are you doing to do these? Jesus Christ, why did they have a medic on hand? They're just fucking around and finding out, guys. They just don't know what they're doing. Male living space real. So we were ordered to clean the entire compound. Why the hell do we have to do a massive cleaning? Because it's where you fucking live, dog. There's nothing I hate more in the world than cleaning and organizing crap. Yeah, you are the least attractive character by far in this fucking game. Stop bitching. Hurry up and lift up that cabinet over there. Thank you, Harada. Every second you're in the same room with, like, it makes you look so much better. It's insane. Now's the perfect chance to serve up those meat cakes you were flaunting earlier. Yeah. Tell his ass. He said, ah, a rat. Oh no! Calm down, it's not a big deal. It seems as though it's feeding on that rice ball over there. You're right, who the hell hid their leftovers here in the corner? Ugh, why do I have to bother myself with such menial tasks like a servant? It's like I'm too cute for this. Rats spread disease, y'all. I mean, I'm a strategist more than anything. Cleaning isn't in my job description. He's so mean. Chill out. Why don't you just whip out your prized Koshu style and do all the work for us? Yeah, shut it. My Koshu military science wasn't designed to help any of you with your housework. What a preposterous idea. Who is this redacted? So, yeah. You're quite the big meanie, Harada. No, he's not. No, he's not. Harada's nicer than both of you bitches combined. Those archaic tactics of his wouldn't be enough to fetch a broom, let alone clean this mess. Mickey, you watch your mouth. Why is he so, you know... It may be outdated compared to Western studies, but Koshu military science is far from outdated. Oh look, Kondo's coming. What? Chief Kondo, please look. What the hell? This room is dirty, and you couldn't even walk in it. But under my guidance, it is clean as... Not him showing off for Kondo. That's crazy. Oh, why are half of these men queer? Like, it's not a bad thing. I just wasn't expecting it. Where's the chief? Oh. He wanted to show off, and he couldn't. Takada realized Kondo was nowhere to be seen, and he glared at Harada. Heh, you fell for it. That's so silly. Damn you, Harada. You tricked me. I will not forget this. Wow, between bitching, kissing ass, and whining like a baby, you're quite the multitasker. Okay, Harada is like almost top 3 now. Like, this is insane. Okay, the comeback is crazy. Don't you ever get tired of being a two-faced prick, not knowing which face to show people? Damn. Damn. Hi everyone, I've washed the rags. Please use this when you wipe the floor. Oh, awesome, thanks. Despite being upset because of chore duty, the men swiftly cleaned the room as a team. Harada really said reading is fundamental. Dr. Matsumoto came the next day to inspect the cleanliness of the compounds. Okay, this looks to be in adequate shape. Right? See everyone? Even the doctor realizes that I'm in shape. Bro is compensating like crazy. It must be fucking micro. Compared to the complexity of war tactics, it's not like cleaning is such a brilliant task. All you did was complain. Didn't Soji get to rest all day? Sounds like he got special treatment while we busted our asses. Hey, don't blame me. Hijikata's the one being overprotective here. It is your fault. You're the one coughing up a lung. You're not improving because you don't take care of yourself. Harada really... Oh wait, I know it's small. Soji is dying of tuberculosis. As it should. As he should. Seeing the compound in such clean conditions is, I must admit, quite nice. Aww. True, the place looks different. I could get used to this. Yeah, it's almost like you guys should clean up after yourselves, you dirty little pigs. Well, maybe we should clean every day then. Yeah! Yeah! Me and Harada. Great idea. Make sure you do a good job, Heisuke. Me? Whoa, whoa, hold on a minute there. You've got the most energy, Shin. Don't think you're getting out of this. I'll help too, Heisuke. Oh yeah? We'll take it on together, you and me alone. Forget Shin. Yeah, just you and me, we don't need him. Hey, wait a minute, I didn't say I was gonna do it. The hell you did, I heard you. Shinpachi, there's some trash over there, go throw it away. We aren't starting till tomorrow, right? Heisuke? Stop running around like that, we just cleaned and you're already kicking up dust. Yeah. I love these guys. I love them so much. How about everyone is responsible for keeping collective living space clean? If I had to live with like 20 different men, I would scream. I would have committed seppuku by now. Like, it's not even a joke. I'm not even like remotely joking. I was enjoying the banter when I noticed something. A rat! Oh no, it's not. I could just see Okita. Oh no, it's happening! It's happening! Dr. Matsumoto outside, walking off somewhere together. Where could they be going? I wondered. I'm worried about it. I want to see what happens. It's not any of my business now. I'm gonna go see. What were Okita and Dr. Matsumoto doing? Was Okita going to talk to the doctor about his cough? He was coughing an awful lot lately. Now that I thought about it, was he alright? I decided to follow them. I'm glad that it didn't become just like a one-off thing where he's like, oh yeah, I've got a cough, don't worry about it. And then it never came back up. Huh? Unfortunately, I waited too long, and by the time I made my way outside, they were gone. I think they went this way. Oh, Yukimori, are you looking for someone? No, just gotta go to the bathroom, bye. Shimada, have you seen Okita and the doctor? Oh yeah, I think I saw them on their way to the courtyard. Thank you. Don't mention it, just slow down before you hurt yourself, alright? Thanks. Yes, goodbye. I saw him walk off and it got me thinking. The courtyard. Should I try and catch up, or should I go around to the back to reach the courtyard before they did? Go around. I don't fucking know. I ducked onto the narrow path that ran around the back, and I soon found myself at the courtyard, where I saw Sanin sitting in the middle, just reading a fucking book while he's supposed to be dead. I hid myself in the shadows, waiting. Okita and the doctor appeared only moments after I hid silently. I'll be honest with you, Okita. You have tuberculosis. Why they say it so plainly? You really said, yeah, you have stage 4, so, say your prayers. Like, say it so casually. Damn. For just a second, my heart stopped. A shiver ran down my spine. If you hadn't told me before, Gray, I'd be dying of laughter right now. There's no way I could take this serious. And suddenly I felt very, very cold. Had a feeling that was it. Real thing, huh? The famous disease? The one that killed all the cowboys? Okita has... Gotta tell you though, I'm not used to getting health advice from doctors, you know. Haha. The best medicine for tuberculosis is rest. And to die. I suggest you leave the Shinsengumi and eat nutritional foods to keep up your energy. Sorry, no can do. Look, this is serious. If you don't deal with this, you might be fine now, but eventually you won't be even able to get up from your bed. Then I'll be here until then. I put my sword before my body, even if I cough up blood. Why are you so desperate to stay here? I'm the Shinsengumi sword. Me being here is my everything. I don't think I have accurate... I think they have... Like, nowadays, it's just solved with antibiotics, I think. They didn't have that shit back then. R.I.P. Damn, so many people died for, like, no reason. I'm here to kill anyone who stands against the Shinsengumi. Simple as that. I understand. Okita sounded cheery, but I was listening in a state of shock. Okita's going to die? I mean, Sanin died already. It was fine. He'll probably just take that, like, miracle cure thing. I felt like I wanted to faint, but I stayed strong and remained standing. Look, Doc, please don't tell Kodo and the guys about this, okay? Promise? Well, I suppose there are certain things that not everyone needs to know. Doctor confidentiality and all. Also, couldn't it be contagious? Get away from him! Yeah, there's something else I've been keeping a secret. I just can't bring myself to tell her. There's a rumor that Kodo is working for groups of extremists, some of the imperialist Ronin. Well, we didn't gather in that. How could I tell her that? The news of Okita's illness had me so scattered I almost cried out at this new piece of intelligence. My father working with nationalists? He's a racist? Oh no! That bald head, he was a skinhead all along. There was suddenly someone behind me. A hand slipped over my mouth before I could react, and a freezing sensation made my spine shiver. Saito? I don't know who that is. Stay silent. Are we getting kidnapped? It is Saito! Yay! I love Saito! What do you mean, no? This is what we wanted. It was a calm, cool voice, and I'd heard many times before, although never from quite so close. LMAO. This is my fucking man. Saito? My body relaxed. The body behind me was Saito, not some ominous assailant. I wasn't snooping, don't worry. But still, Soji is very perceptive. I nodded my head as much as I dared. His hand over my mouth made me too nervous to breathe. Saito's presence next to me was silent and sharp like a blade in the night. It seemed like hours passed before Okita and Matsumoto finally left. Too close. If it weren't for Saito, you'd have gotten in some real trouble. Yamazaki! Hey! How long was he? No, something told me that it would be a foolish question. He was probably watching the whole time. Sorry. If you hadn't sought me, Saito, I probably would have given myself away. No, it is I who should apologize for being so forward with you. Oh, no, it's okay, babe. I like when you're forward. I love him. He has my whole heart. Nonetheless, you followed orders, which is commendable. Thank you. Oh, no, not at all. He's cute. He's my favorite. There was the briefest hint of a smile in his eyes as he spoke, and then it disappeared. Now, Soji, Can you truly pretend that you heard nothing, specifically nothing regarding his illness? He wasn't asking me to keep my mouth shut per se, but rather to forget that I'd seen and heard had ever happened. Oh, lying by omission, okay. But why? If word of his illness were to get out, it would be detrimental to the Shinsengumi. Our enemies would be elated, and the chief and commander would be miserable. He was right, even I can understand that, but I couldn't forget the sight of Okita smiling, even with the seriousness of this news. We will deal with his illness. This is nothing you need to concern yourself over. But, in other words, do not get involved. At the end of the day, I was still only a guest. This sad reminder resurfaced once more. I may live among the Shinsengumi, but I wasn't one of them. But I got to clean up all their shit and make them tea all the fucking time, but I'm still not one of them somehow. Saito's words made that very clear. Suddenly, I felt cold, as if a cold gust of wind blew through me, draining all the heat from my body. I was all alone. Baby, come back. You could blame it all on me. From then on, Matsumoto visited the compound regularly to check up on the men of the Shinsengumi. Sorry, my voice. Drink time. Ever since Sanin had become the leader of the Furies, the group was named as the Fury Corps. Still, I couldn't help but wonder, was it really all right to continue researching the Furies? My heart was heavy with worry. Without him, the Shinsengumi would be nothing. We would cease to exist. If so, why? Because they can barely clean up after their fucking selves. They can't do any... Okay, I'm gonna just say this because I've been feeling this way for a while. I like the cast for the most part, but the Shinsengumi is like a collective. I feel like they're so shit at their job. It's like, I don't think they're very good at what they do. Like, they're bored out of like a failed experiment. They, just arrest people. They like violence too much. They be holding secrets. They be protecting their own. They hate when people who aren't a part of their group come in. Like, I don't know. They're not that great, to be honest. But like, it's realistic. I get it. But yeah, the fact they were so supportive of them is just like, I don't know. I care about the individuals in it, not really the group itself. As the dust cleared, following the Hamaguri rebellion, the shogun set about cleaning house. The Choshu expedition was launched by the shogun once the Choshu domain was declared enemies of the court. Perhaps feeling they dodged a bullet, the Choshu domain fell silent for a time. Their obedience was short-lived, however, and before long their disrespect for the shogun became impossible to ignore. In order to investigate further, the shogunate decided to send an envoy to the Choshu domain. Kondo was asked to accompany an envoy sent to the Choshu to investigate their behavior. However, the Choshu domain refused to even meet with the envoy. Fed up with their insubordination, the shogunate ordered the second Choshu expedition. However, the war was a costly one, exhausting both the resources and the men from all over the domains whose morale began to falter. To add to the fire, word of the shogun Imochi's passing shook all of Japan, and some domains even withdrew, which made the situation even more dire. The second Choshu expedition had ended in a surprising major loss for the shogunate's troops. October 1866. The pillar of the Tokugawa... Are we like 20 now? We've been a part of this for like 2 years. We're like almost 21. We could drink now. Which stood strong for 260 years, was beginning to show signs of instability. We didn't even celebrate a birthday. That day, I was accompanying Saito on his rounds. Yay! Are we at the Saito route? Who knows? I don't even fucking know. It sure has been hot lately. I've gotten used to the city of Kyoto, but I just can't get used to the humid heat. Indeed. I always wondered. Even in midsummer, Saito always wore his full uniform. Wasn't he hot? He is hot. He kept his vigilant guard up while observing the city of Kyoto. We can begin with this store and do our rounds. Wait here, Yukimura. There's nothing for you to do inside. Alright. He gave me a short nod of confirmation and stepped into the shop with his men. It's the Shinsengumi. There are rumors floating around Ronin coming in and out of here, so I'll have to inspect your store. Yes, sir, of course. I'd been waiting for Saito and his division for a few minutes when I noticed a commotion nearby. Oh god. Hey, out of the way, said Rokuru. You got a couple patriots coming through here. A number of rather unpleasant-looking Ronin were making their way in my general direction, yelling, threatening, and intimidating anyone unfortunate enough to cross their path. Patriots? Hardly. Perhaps they consider themselves loyal to the imperial court, but they look like the sort who only use their supposed patriotism as an excuse to steal and kill. Damn. Hey, you deaf? I told you to move. The Ronin tossed a poorly aimed kick at a child playing in the street. Jesus H. What should I do? Kick him back. It seemed like the warriors were preoccupied with their investigation in the store. Just as I was about to stop the Ronin. Oh, another girl! Oh my god! Holy shit! No way! Desist, you hooligans! What's this? You think you could tell us what to do, lady? Ha, a woman wants to pick a fight with us? Patriots loyal to the Emperor. A girl! Well, perhaps it is you who should feel pathetic for being told by a woman to stop. Don't you know how much trouble you're causing to the Kyoto civilians? You bitch! No, she's a queen! This man's obviously short fuse has been lit. He made a grab for the girl and missed. I suspected his next attack would be inaccurate. I couldn't let that happen. Yeah, let's defend her. Yeah! Let's go! Wait! When I had come to my senses, I noticed that I had instinctively taken action. I had positioned myself in front of the girl, protecting her. Who are you? You know this broad? No, I don't. Then how about you keep your damn nose out of my goddamn business? A flecks of spit flew from his mouth as he roared at me, and my legs suddenly felt somewhat weaker than they had a moment ago. But I was committed. I couldn't run now. If you truly love your country, as you say, then why do you abuse women and children? Yeah! A samurai should protect common people, not attack them. What did you say? That's right, you tell him, son. How do you like that, you damn Ronin? Patriot my ass, get out of my city! Something about my speech must have struck a chord with the gathering crowd. With the cheers, and everyone clapped. With the cheers, my legs started to regain some of their usual steadiness. You son of a bitch. With a rough hiss of metal, the Ronin's sword leapt from his scabbard. Gah! I suddenly discovered I had difficulty swallowing. I could try to dodge, but if I did, he might hit the girl my actions had intended to protect. I was about to draw my sword. Huh? Yeah! Slowly, carefully, I open my eyes. You needn't worry, I used the back of my sword. Okay. Ronori Kenshin over here. Saito! He got me geeking. Take them to headquarters. There may be Chosu. Yes, sir! Working quickly, Saito's men set to work binding the Ronin for transport. Saito's cold eyes fell on me. That was Echo's. Why didn't you call me? I had it! What were you doing if you got hurt? If they hurt you gravely? I don't know. I was just kind of fucking winging it. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking. But I couldn't help myself. I mean, what if she were to get injured? The gentleman is right. You were dreadfully reckless. I had the situation quite well in hand. Oh, okay. My bad, queen. A scolding from Saito was expected, but I hadn't thought that my erstwhile damsel in distress would contribute. I'm sorry I made you worry. I gave her a short, slightly confused bow, to which she blinked as if suddenly remembering something very important. Oh, but you did save me, didn't you now? And I haven't yet thanked you. How crude of me, thank you. Oh, well, I didn't do anything. It was Saito and his men who made the actual arrest. Oh, you didn't be so modest. It's way more respectful than just being a bystander. I suspect that this, our meeting here, is Providence. Young ladies must watch out for one another here in the city. You're absolutely right. What? Saito glanced from her to me and an expression flashed across his face that I couldn't quite place. You can't expect to fool everyone. There's no need to worry about it. Oh dear, was it supposed to be a secret? Perhaps I should have mentioned it. Well, I wasn't entirely sure how to respond. How does a person respond to that sort of question? She seemed to sense my confusion and gracefully moved on. I'm terribly sorry, but I don't believe I've even asked your name. How terribly boorish of me. I should very much like to be friends, but it is difficult to become acquainted with the nameless. Might I inquire as to who you are then? Sure. Well this is... Oh, I know who he is. Mr. Saito, yes? The Shinsengumi is frightfully famous here. And you are? My name is Chizuru Yukimura. It's nice to meet you. Yukimura? Her eyes grew wide as if she were surprised and she stared intently at me. Your last name is Yukimura. Were you born in the East? Why, yes. I was living in Edo, but I had come to Kyoto for a certain reason. She was acting a little strange, so I tried to speak to her and she laughed and looked up. Oh, I'm sorry. It's nothing. It was the same last name as my acquaintance. I think Yukimura is a really pretty last name. You think so? Thank you. And it is a pleasure to meet you, Chizuru. You may call me Sen. Hi, Sen. Miss Sen. Nice to meet you. Oh, goodness, you needn't be so uptight. You look to be about my age, so I see no reason for us to speak as equals. So just Sen, then? Yes, I suppose I will do. We must meet again sometime, Shizuru. Bye, Sen! She gave my hand a gentle squeeze, then turned and left, her kimono flapping behind her. How cute! Our encounter was over before I had a chance to grasp what was even happening, and so I simply stood, stunned, for a moment or two. Saito was eyeing Sen walking off, and eventually he turned to me. That girl seemed to be rather curious about your last name. I know, huh? She did say it was the same as her acquaintances. Well, I guess Yukimura isn't an uncommon name either. It seemed like Saito was concerned with her reaction to my name, and he was deep in thought. We're running behind our schedule. We should be going now. Oh, yes! So we continued on our rounds, trying to withstand the scorching heat. You know what? I think that's a good place to stop for today. We've done a lot. It's been kind of a crazy day. There's been demons, there's been tuberculosis, there's been 1,000 men, also vampires. Sonnen died. Like, what the fuck? Today was crazy. But the story, like, is really fun. I just have a good time. Even though some people really annoy me in the story, but that's normal. You're not gonna like everybody. But it was so good. It was so fun. I feel like I'll have so many things to clip. Because it was just absurd. And I don't know what route I'm fucking on. I like to think that I'm on Saito's because I think I have more CGs for him than I have anybody else. So if he's my first, I'm gonna be really happy because I like him a lot. But you know, like, I'm kind of okay with anybody. You're on Saito. Am I really? Did you check? 1000%. I love him. He makes me so happy. He makes me feel like a little girl again, playing my little Otome games on my phone. Oh, I have no idea. Well, yeah, it's fine. If I'm not, I will be eventually, and that's all that matters. I just can't imagine anyone else's. Wait, you can't pick? I don't know. I feel like your choices do the thing where they kind of just put you on one, and you basically just have to, like, trial and error it in order to get on different routes or whatever. Fuck if I know. So I'm just kind of winging it and seeing what... I'm letting the first route be chaos, and then for the subsequent ones, I'll, like, look up an actual walkthrough so I can be productive on these streams and actually get through the whole thing, like, a lot more easily. But the first one's gonna be kind of organic. But anyway, I had a good time. I'm excited to get to play tomorrow because, like, I've just had so much fun. I was excited to play today because of yesterday. I'm having way more fun with the story than I thought I was going to, which is really fun. So I'm happy about it. I'm glad that I decided to play the game first. I'm really enjoying the guys. It kind of reminds me of my favorite Otome Ninja Love because it has the like, everybody's in one area and, like, the guys interact with each other, and you know, like, I like when otomes do that and you're not just, like, split off on a route and you never see the other characters again, because I don't think that's as fun. It's why Rectifier is the way that it is, you know. But anyway, my stream schedule is the same as it will be all week. I meant to put it in so I could show it on stream, but I forgot. So I'll be streaming 11 a.m. CST for the next couple days, playing Hakuoki, and then on Saturday I'll be doing a work stream. So very excited, gonna pick up tomorrow. Hope to see you. Thank you for dropping by. For those that did, feel free to leave a follow, all that stuff, you know, if you haven't already. Otherwise, I'm gonna get some food because I'm starving. Bye bye.